I know that the path that Clash is on, it's headed to that like national stage.
Sure. Well, it is a national stage.
I mean, it's
point,
there.
Yeah.
But like, you know the way people talk about Ledgestone? They will talk about Clash.
Alex, look out! Look out! There's a train! Oh my God! It hit! It hit him! Oh my God! Alex is dead! Alex is dead!
Are you okay?
Oh my God! He's just smeared all over the tracks. Where did that train come from? Why was he sitting on the tracks?
Shouldn't there be more blood?
Should be a lot more blood.
Hi, everyone. This is Juliana Corver, and you are listening to Unstable Discourse.
Alex wants your, Ryan needs your, all Sean's got is your photograph. Lauren took it.
Welcome in to episode 5 of season 2 of Unstable Discourse.
Yeah.
I'm getting. Yeah, no, keep going. This is good. No, we're not going to stop. Just keep. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, welcome in, guys. It's the crew. We're back in the boardroom above Embers across from 933 in Lockport, Illinois. It's the same. It's the usual suspects, plus a guest that everyone has been dying to listen to.
Amen.
We got Lauren Lakeberg.
No pressure.
The disc golf photographer.
Yep.
Maybe the most famous of all of us. Somebody posted that in the mailbag. Who's the biggest celebrity of all of you?
Yeah.
I think you might be. You might have the most clout.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a celebrity, though.
Well, wait till this episode
You've been
drops.
doing this
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Ling
Yeah.
long.
I'm just me.
Long time.
That's why you're the best, though, because we say that and then you just say, I'm just me.
It's just me.
I'm Lauren Lakeberg.
Just quietly doing amazing things without calling attention to herself.
Yep.
But yeah, it's me, Alex of Disc Golf Chicago, Ryan Fancher of Unstable Disc Golf Gear,
Yes, sir.
Sean Callahan of Dellwood Disc Golf.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
And Jason Callahan of Bag of Tricks.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
And Lauren Lakeberg, the disc golf photographer.
Hello.
This is exciting. We've started out with, we each took a shot of Jack.
Yeah.
And
Smooth.
While we listen to Blink
we
182.
listen to Blink 182.
Yeah.
And we're trying a new cocktail, which is our tradition now. Sheila Callahan is actually in the room with us as well. Actually, I should have included Sheila in the intro. Sheila Callahan of Dellwood Disc Golf is in the room. And Sheila picked our cocktail for this episode. It's called Paloma. Sheila,
That's good.
can you tell me what's in this cocktail? What's the main... Tequila. There's tequila in it.
Tequila.
Out of grapefruit and rosemary.
It's beautiful. It's the prettiest cocktail we've had so far, I think. Shout out to Andy, the bartender, who always hooks us up with something special in our glasses.
Tequila.
The name of this episode is, I'm sorry to tell you, but the name of this episode is Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Yeah, we thought about that for a long time. We eliminated a lot of other options and decided this is the best one.
Give or take about 6 seconds.
That's
thought.
Okay, that's accurate. Yeah, so we're talking to Lauren about her journey through the history of disc golf. She's been there to capture some of the most amazing moments that some people would never have known about if she wasn't there.
Right.
She's brought so many special moments to so many people. Is there another disc golf photographer who's got more clout?
No.
I don't believe so. You are
For
the
this
disc
amount
golf
of
photographer.
time. She's been doing it since even before 2010?
Oh, yeah.
I started playing in 2003 and was first published in 2009.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and I was...
The year I started playing.
When you were just a wee sperm and your dad
Shout out to Alex's dad's nuts!
Yes.
Yes!
I love you, Dad. Those nuts are going to come out on every episode. Right? But yeah, I was talking to Lauren before we got up here. Just getting just a couple little tidbits of stuff she's done and like what this journey's been like. And I knew it was amazing, but
You
it's
didn't know
deep.
just how amazing.
No, I can't wait to get to the meat and potatoes. But before we get to the meat and potatoes and before we get to Lauren's story, this whole thing There's a formula to it, and it starts with fired up.
Fired up.
Son of a bitch.
Ryan,
He's done it
What are you
again.
fired up about?
Well, I'm fired up about trying to mix that down and make that work timing-wise with Sean's fired up now because we've done so many long ones. That one's going to throw it off. But what I'm
Oh, I know what you mean.
I'm actually fired up about is the possibility of some cool things happening for Clash because the European leg of the tour was formally canceled
Correct.
this week. So a lot of the touring pros that were signed up for Clash but were ultimately going to opt to go to Europe don't have an option to go to Europe now.
Is
So
Sula canceled?
I don't know what exactly is canceled. I
I
did
know
see
European
that
Open was
the
canceled.
European Open was canceled, so I'm assuming the rest are going to be following suit.
I would think.
So that means that sucks.
It does suck.
It does
I
suck.
feel for them.
Absolutely,
At the
because
same
that is
time.
an incredible leg of the tour. Like, if you have the ability to go and do that, I would absolutely do that over anything else. But since they cannot, I feel like there are going to be very many more touring pros that are going to come to Clash and get those
That got
points.
that tour pass.
That's right. So I'm excited to see how many big names are going to come to Clash now.
There are a few. Brody Smith. That's pretty exciting.
Yep.
There are a bunch of other people that have the tour
Wait,
pass.
you're saying Brody Smith might come, or he's
He's signed up for
Doesn't go to
Clash
Europe.
currently.
It
What?
would-
Yeah. But
Well,
he's
he
got the tour pass. So he's signed up for all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
So all
But
Silver Series
because
and
he doesn't
all-
have the
Gotcha.
option to go to Europe now, that weekend is open. So Silver Series, get
So if
yourself
they
some
don't go
extra
to
points.
Europe, so Worlds is the weekend before Clash, and if they don't go to Europe, which they would take the weekend of Clash to travel to Europe, if they're not going there, then their options after Worlds are either going to the Majestic, same weekend as Clash, or Clash.
Right.
And Clash is a Silver Series event. Majestic is not.
Right. And with a Silver Series event, you get a quarter of the points for the tour. So it only makes sense for all of the pros that are vying for top spots to get those extra points.
Why are we not screaming and excited about this right now?
Because we don't
We are.
know.
Oh,
like
okay.
Yes. We are
inside, I'm
inside.
screaming, but on the outside, I'm trying to stay reserved because
Be cool.
I don't want to
Playing
get
it cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being
Yeah.
cool about it.
You got to plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm stoked for that. Again, it sucks that they have to do
It
that.
does.
But
it is unfortunate for them.
it's going to be cool for us, I think.
I think so too.
Super cool.
There are actually some exemption spots that the DGPT holds just for those last minute big names that don't have somewhere to go. And then Jeff Spring just goes, hey, you could skip over everybody that was
Shoehorn this guy in.
signed
Correct.
up and take that spot. So
Yeah. Usually Jeff Spring saves it for me just in case I
Well,
want to
yeah,
play on the tour, but
right.
I
It's
never
like
have time.
That first spot is Ryan Fancher,
Right.
then Paul Macbeth.
Correct.
Then
Yeah.
Ricky.
But I always turn it down. I never have time.
Or is it Fancher, Wysocki, Macbeth, I think it's.
Oh, I don't look at 2 and 3. I just look at number 1,
Yeah, they're not important.
obviously. But that's what I'm fired up about. So we'll see how that plays out. I am reserved but fired up.
Dude, I was going to wait. I was going to go
Safely
last.
fired up.
Safely fired up.
Smoldering up.
Warmed up. I was going to go last, which is pretty much the standard format, but I'm going to piggyback now because when you brought up Brody Smith, that led me to a secret third thing that I'm fired up about because I already had 2 planned.
Oh, cool.
Secret third.
Secret third.
Secret third. Power.
So the secret third, I'll start with that, is it's not even a secret. I've been posting
heating
about
up.
He's heating up.
it. The Chicago Union, the professional ultimate frisbee team, reached out and they were like, "Hey, let's cross promote. Let's do some ultimate frisbee events and disc golf events." So they actually have a doubles event that they're doing at 50 Acre Park. Like you can play with one of the Chicago Union professional players.
Hell yeah.
So we're looking at ways to do more things with them and them
Yeah.
to do things with us. One of their captains is like, would love to come on the show. And I was like, well, if you do that, we're going to have to talk about Brody Smith, of course, obviously, right? If Brody Smith is going to be at Clash, we got to figure out a way to collaborate all
Yeah,
the
we'll figure
things.
it out.
Find the
I think that could be a thing.
synergy thing. There's something there. And then the other 2 things are Dogecoin.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. I have a friend who just, are you in?
Oh, I've been in.
I've been in.
That's
Drink
why
to that. How
Ryan's
much?
so loose right now. How much money did you make, dog? Or Doge? Should I just call
Well,
you Doge?
I'm. let's just say over the course of the last 2 days, we're doing pretty good.
All right.
Dude.
So, and
right.
it's gonna disappear because it's just a pump and dump. But
Right.
for
Well,
now,
why don't you just get out and hold your money then?
Well, I'm in for the long haul, baby.
Baby's got diamond hands.
Diamond hands, baby.
So one of my very close friends, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want people to start hitting him up and begging him for money. He told me when Dogecoin was at 15 cents, he goes, if it hits 20 cents, I'll become an actual millionaire. And I was like, dude.
And it hit
and like 10 minutes
cents.
later, it hit 20 cents. And then it continued to go up to 40 cents. So he cashed out, and he, in our group chat, he was like, guys, I'm just telling you now, I'm going to disappear for a while, and I might come back with a Lamborghini. And it's been, I'll talk to you guys later.
Nice knowing you.
Get that paper, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Meanwhile, I sold at 6.5 cents. So cool. Paper hands. But I do feel really good. I do feel really good about how much I hyped it up on social media. And like a bunch of people that otherwise probably wouldn't have cared decided to just throw a couple bucks at it. And
it's fine.
I've been getting... The worst part about this is so many people have been hitting me up going like, dude, did you see the Dogecoin prices? And I'm like, yes, I did. I've been paying attention. I'm glad you're still in. Enjoy the ride. So yeah, that's just crazy. I can't believe it's happening.
It is. It's great. Yeah.
And then my last
Sorry.
thing, no, I didn't know you were in. I'm really happy for you, dude.
I'm in for fun. I'm not in seriously, but the amount of money that is being thrown is serious. So
I bought back in at the all-time high. I had so much FOMO. I bought in and it dipped. It dipped by 50% the moment I bought back in.
Yep, that's how it happens.
This is the Disc Golf Podcast. Let's get back on track. The last thing I'm fired up about is that we have had our second meeting with the Paul Macbeth Foundation and Dana Vici of Disc Golf Park.
Dan of Vici.
Dane of Vici.
Of Vici. Yes.
Vici.
And the Jackson Park District people. It's real. Like it's happening.
Yes.
We have the permission to put mobile baskets out there. They want us to put on programming for kids events and start leagues and just put foot traffic out there so that we have enough support and can demonstrate to the community the benefits so that we can put a permanent course there. And Disc Golf Park has already committed to donating all the baskets and signs that we need. The Paul Macbeth Foundation has already said whatever you guys need. And the first thing is they're going to donate some discs so the kids have something to play with. Sure. But they're also, we want to send Paul out there to do some clinics with you guys. We want to send Jomez to get footage while that's happening. We want to have Paul on the podcast. And I said, sure, yeah, I guess that's fine. We can do that.
I mean,
NBD.
do we have?
I guess. I'll see if we have.
think
I'll
we
see if we have some availability.
We should be able to fit
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
somewhere.
We'll
but
try.
I will.
That's not a promise. I'm just telling you.
I'm just letting you know now. If Paul is on the show, I'm going to fan out.
I'm going to be here to photograph it.
Yeah, Lauren's coming back to photograph that, obviously. In case you guys don't know, Lauren has a special relationship with Paul. We're going to get to that later.
We'll get into it.
That's how my day started. I woke up, I saw Dogecoin. I had my meeting with these people. It's been a crazy day. If you can't tell, I'm only 5 hours of sleep, but I feel like
You're
I'm wired.
fired up.
I'm fired
One
up.
might say.
He's on fire.
And now I pass the baton to you, Sean. What are you fired up about?
I am also
Beat
fired
that.
up. Yeah, right. Like I don't know how to follow that.
Sorry, dog.
Clash. So we're getting pretty close now. How many months away are we?
A couple.
2.5.
But I'm
it's
getting
like-
nervous.
Right. We're getting to
Yeah.
the point where it's like, okay, did we put t-shirt sizes on the side up?
Right. Yeah.
It's getting like that. So I love being in this time of a larger event because it literally, even though it's 2.5 months away,
All those pieces are being
we
fit
are
together.
planning some little portion of it every day. Like I was just at Ryan's house. Sheila and I both were there doing some more artwork for a potential disc release that would happen in and around that time. And like that type of stuff, like the hype of everything that we're doing just has got me just like, yeah, let's go. Like, please let it be 2.5 months from now. That's fine with me. But it's got me.
It's cool because you can savor every little success along the way.
Yeah. Because that weekend goes by in about 45 seconds. So,
And when it rains, it's like 15 seconds.
well, no, it's 17 hours and also 45 seconds at the same time. The lead up, you have to tell yourself to enjoy it as it's coming because once we get to the event, all bets are off.
It's like you're blacked out. You're just like in tournament. You're in work
real.
mode.
Yeah.
And
Real
then
blacked out.
when everything's done, you can reflect back on what everything that just happened.
Well,
but it's like a wedding.
Yeah.
Like you don't even remember so much of what happened at your wedding
It
until
is totally a wedding.
people tell you later about what happened during the wedding.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that happens with every single one of our events. We're doing, the 7:38 tee time, and then we're doing the 2:35 tee time. And you're like, what?
Wait, where'd it go?
Oh, okay. Well, we're done.
All I did was
okay.
ramble about what OB was for the last 6 hours.
And it's gone. And then, so, And Clash is, exponentially faster than that. Enjoying all of this and trying to fit all those pieces together is great.
And we got out whatever day it was, and we tested out some new pin positions.
We did.
I also met with the landscaper, Mr. Tom McSweeney, that did all of the work on holes 1 and 2 out at Dellwood for a couple more smaller projects out on holes.
Premier landscaping, or what are they called?
Elite.
Elite
Landscaping.
landscaping.
So a couple of little more projects out there. A couple more projects. Not as big, but the things that need to get done to just make the course that much more premier.
Yeah, I feel like the projects themselves are not as
Important
big,
to
but
me.
they're more significant.
Yes. I just want it to look epic.
And they're all building to one of the coolest disc golf tournaments in the country. And I say that having only been to like 2 big tournaments. But I know that the path that Clash is on, it's headed to that like national stage.
Sure. Well, it is a national stage.
I mean,
at this
it's
point, but
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But like, the way people talk about Ledgestone, they will talk about Clash.
Alex,
like,
look out! Look out! There's a train! Oh my God! It hit! It hit him! Oh my God! Alex is dead! Alex is dead!
Are you okay?
Oh my God! He's just smeared all over the tracks. Where did that train come from? Why was he sitting on the tracks?
Shouldn't there be more blood?
Should be a lot more blood.
in case listeners, in case you don't know, there's a train that goes by while we do the show all the time. But well done, guys.
It doesn't seem like it should be that loud.
That was a treat.
It was in the room.
And kudos to Lauren for just playing along right away,
Yeah.
unprompted.
No,
Good work.
It was that shot of Jack. That's
Yep.
That's what did it.
Yep.
Did you have anything else? I feel like I was making a point, but I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, we messed around with some possibilities on 18 that I think are going to come to fruition. I'm excited about
Fruitation.
that. Fruitation.
Yeah.
XXL layout, we are going to be playing 6A long this year.
Oh, thank God.
In the past, we have played 6A short and played hole 6. We are not playing hole 6, and we're playing 6A long. So
Should we call this the triple XL at this point? Because we're changing
just
it?
about? We should.
That's my size. I would love that.
Triple XL rated.
Triple XL rated. Yeah.
What are you talking about doing to 18?
It's like one of the only other spots where we can really stretch an idea of what we already have. And there's a very cool landmark very close to hole 18. So as you're coming up from playing either the A or the B pin, you're coming up the corkscrew. I call it the corkscrew.
Yeah.
Gravel path. And to your left is one of the dams there.
Yeah.
In the past, we've done temp holes that have played shorter and then played up to the dam. I want essentially that type of hole as the second shot for hole 18. So you'd be throwing over the creek, under the bridge, landing in the fairway of 18.
Okay.
And then throwing a second shot kind of like 90 degrees to your left if you're from the tee, all the way up and over the dam to a flat spot with the creek in the background. It's like
That sounds tough.
And what
Nuts,
the best part about this is normally giant drive, placement shot, putt, in. But in this case, your shot off
shot
the
is the
tee
placement.
has to be a placement shot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's all
if you
over.
go long, then you're like super pinched off and you got to throw like a
So-
crazy
I hope
lefty
you guys, that
hyzer,
sounds
righty
awesome.
anti shot.
We played it, and it was much more doable than I had imagined without as much work as I thought was going to have to be put in. So we'll see how that goes.
That's dope. I was actually re-listening to episode 8, the bearded one from season 1, with Dana. The stories you guys were talking about, I think it's Maple Hill, and you were talking about playing 18 and how you wanted to do something really special on hole 18 at Dellwood.
Right.
To come in the next day, and you're talking about doing something special. I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah.
sick.
There it is.
And so last thing to mention is that the final hole will be hole 1 long. So as before, we were talking about doing the fairway of hole 1 would be like a spectator area for watching hole 2,
Too long, yeah.
right? So now after hole 12 to the B pin, 1 long tee to the A pin with the new landscaping on the green, that will be the finishing hole. Then you're going to come up the
gotta go see
stairs
that.
and then you're right at the shop. And it's,
But picture this, final card, big guns, throwing down the final hole, and everybody up on the road all the
Yeah.
way
and we can let
along.
everybody in onto 2's fairway, and they could stay on 2's fairway side once they're done playing hole 2.
Yeah.
Then everybody can leak in and watch the final hole.
Then we can get those photos of the crowds watching the people play, which will
From
help.
below and above.
Yeah.
We'll have to hire a photographer.
Yeah. If you
This
guys
is
know
all
anybody,
good information. I'll just take some notes and let my people know.
have your people get back to our
Please.
people.
Yeah.
No problem.
Perfect. Well, damn, that's a lot. That's
It's a
exciting.
ton. Yeah.
J-Man, what are you fired up about?
I do have something I'm fired up about.
Is it a
There
recipe?
is there is a
Is it a
recipe that I found online.
There's this TV show on Disney Plus.
It's the best show
show in the
I've
world.
ever-
Me, Lauren. I don't even know why I come here every time.
Heart sign.
Yeah, thank you.
Cobra Kai.
Unbelievable. I can't even talk. No, there is nothing
Grogu
I'm
for
fired
life.
up about other than the fact that I've started my 4th job and I am officially an employee of Dellwood Disc Golf. As of last Sunday was my first day. I did my training that day. It was fantastic. I
You
had a
wore
blast.
joggers. I was so proud of him.
oh.
He looks so cute.
He told me. He was
a
like,
requirement.
dude, you know there's like a way we dress, right? And I was like,
There's a dress code.
I was like, don't worry, I got this. I went and bought some joggers, got me a nice hoodie.
It was all Adidas from the ground up.
I look
looked
legit. They count all of
Legitness.
them. All mented.
It was
That was
legitness.
legitness. The second I walked in, all 3 of them, him, Sheila, Corey, they all commented.
They were
how
like,
good
"You've
I
done
looked."
it.
Yeah.
You're doing it, Peter. You had your first full day of work, right?
No, my first full day of work will be this upcoming Sunday. I
Okay.
just did training for like 3 hours.
Other
So
than
while you were okay, go ahead. Ryan.
no, I was going to say other than
Ask all the questions. I'm
Please,
a professional
yeah.
at this point. Yes.
other than just knowing all of the product, which takes forever, and I still don't know because I'm not in there all the time. What was the hardest part? You think?
Oh, it was 100%.
Besides your
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
My pee-pee is the hardest part.
There we go.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Leave that in there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Well, it was funny because I was
Sean hates these.
He said pee-pee, guys. He said pee-pee.
Oh, good.
I was.
You better leave this in.
On Sunday, he texted me because they open at 10, and he was like, "Are you on your way?" And I was like, "No, it's all good. You caught my pre-come over."
Oh, got him.
Cut that.
Got
Anyway.
him.
No, so the hardest
So
part.
I am dying to know how you're going to handle people asking you questions. People who don't know you yet because they
Yes.
don't listen to the podcast or
Right.
realize that you're Jason from the podcast.
Right.
People who are like, "Hey, I was thinking about this disc. What do you think about this one?"
So-
what in the world are you going to say?
There will be a day in the future where I may potentially be by myself, but until then,
Oh, I wouldn't do
There
that.
will always be somebody there that's like out on the sales floor, kind of like mixing it up,
Gotcha.
making sure that they're getting their needs met, and then I'm at the register just ping, ping, ping. Ping, 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 ping,
ping.
typing in sting.
Keep doing it. Yeah.
Ping,
Good.
ping, typing in everything and then
Gotcha.
ringing it up.
Ping,
and,
ping, ping.
Which will
Typing
help
in
him
everything.
become more familiar.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I mean, you're only going to have this status for now. And the more questions people ask you and the more
Right.
time you do this, the
But
more.
I'm very observant and
Yeah, I know.
absorbent. So I will be able to like take that information and put it in the back of my brain and be
zero
like, oh, right.
doubts.
Yeah.
You have total confidence
Okay,
that you
that
will.
does that. Got it.
Yeah.
I can file that away. Yeah.
And at the very least, you can be like, you know what? I've heard a lot of people feel this way about this
It's
disc,
so easy to have that conversation
Exactly.
once you've heard it happen several times. And I'm like,
and you will.
I'm no expert, but
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
But there's this disc called the Groove, and I cannot tell you how good I've heard.
I can't talk to you about putters, but if you want to talk
Yeah.
about buttholes,
all day. And the conversation isn't that far apart from each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it turns out most disc manufacturers put the name of the disc on there, so it's pretty easy to sell it once you know what it's
Most
called.
of the time.
Yeah.
Or
Most of the time, not all the time.
For
but
just
most
about
of the
3
time.
hours, Sheila took him around, starting with the very first bin, and quizzed him. And like pulled
Really?
out each
Yeah.
mold and was like, "What? How would you ring this up?" Literally for 3 hours, all the way. Like if you know the shop, you know that like it kind of serpentines around the whole shop.
Yep.
And she went around the whole shop with him and
That's
was
good.
quizzing him the whole way.
you got to hire slow.
From AVR to Zuka.
Listen to this guy.
You're welcome.
From A to Z.
Trademark that.
Damn.
Oh, that's great.
From AVR to
And
Zuka.
how do you feel about? This is a stupid question, but
There's no stupid questions, only stupid people. Go ahead.
I'll be
Ask
a
away.
stupid person because I already know the answer. But how do you feel about people that are gonna want to talk to you because you're Jason from the podcast?
I will
Oh,
always
that
have
won't happen, so it doesn't
a
matter.
golden Sharpie in my pocket that if anyone needs
You're
a
gonna be off.
signature-
You're already thinking about autographs.
Absolutely. I am quilled and ready, as they say.
It will happen too.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Dave Hopkins
It's
will
a
come
thing.
in.
And
Mike
have
Serdar.
something for me to sign.
Mike
Sure.
Serdar.
Yeah.
Joe Moore.
Happy to do it.
Jose Mas.
Who else would be really excited to get a Jason autograph? Who else comes to mind?
Jason.
Jake Thorns.
Jake Thorns, Jackie T. Horns.
Oh, Jackie T. Horns.
T. Horns.
I'll hook you up, Jackie T. Horns. Don't you worry.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I think it was a good decision on Dellwood's part to bring you into the fold.
Amen.
Thank you.
Lauren, what are you fired up about?
Yeah, you got to match all of that.
I am really fired up because I'm teaching a photography class this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
And my friend Alex is going to attend.
He sounds handsome.
He really is.
It's because it's him.
Just what from what you've said so far sounds like a good guy.
He really is.
Did I ask you about this or did you put the idea out first?
You asked me about it and I made it happen.
Definitely. Yeah, you
So,
did. You
yeah.
jumped on it right away. You put together like a blog post about it,
Yeah.
a website to sign up. Like you jumped all over it.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So I'm already assuming there will be more of these later. Unfortunately, this episode's going to drop by the time we've already done the class, but
Right.
I will tell everybody about it. And if other people want to do this, what you're going to be teaching. What are you teaching me?
So this is a 101 class, and it's fundamentally about exposure and using a DSLR manual camera and getting comfortable with the exposure triangle. There's 3 variables there with the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture. So
God, you're making me feel so dumb.
We're gonna do some experiments and things so that you understand how things work.
Awesome.
So
If somebody wanted to do a class with you, but they didn't have a DSLR, like they just had an iPhone Pro 12 Max or something,
Who has one of those?
I think
I got one right here. If you guys,
what-
good?
what is it?
I got one right here.
What is
you guys
it?
wanted to check it out? It's got 3 lenses on there.
Is it the?
Lauren told me that I take good photos. So.
Is it
He does.
the iPhone?
if somebody
12 Pro
legitimately
Max.
wanted to learn
Yeah.
how to take better pictures with their phone, would you be interested in teaching them about that?
Could you?
too?
Would you?
Absolutely, I would.
Cool. So that's
There
going to happen.
are-
I'm sure people are going to,
Yeah.
because not everybody has a DSLR, but
There
everyone's got a
are
good
like
camera.
advanced functions on most phones where you can at least mess with the shutter speed and the film speed and the aperture and all that to see the. And actually, with a phone, in a lot of cases, you can kind of see that in real time and how it affects the exposure. So that's actually kind of cool.
Ryan knows some shit. I did not realize Ryan knows some
He
shit.
knows
Yeah.
a little
He knows
bit
a
about
lot.
everything.
Yeah, I used to do it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
he's
even if you
old.
don't have a DSLR, I think that would be good because you can see, the effects that it makes.
So we're doing this April 18th, this Sunday. And also, we're going to be joined by...
Oh my God, Alex! Look out! There's another train. How did you not see it coming?
He was dead
scared?
before. He's alive again, and then
he
got
came back to
killed
life,
again.
and he didn't get off the tracks.
you scared the shit out of me just now.
You dork.
God damn.
You're a huge dork for that.
Stand by me.
Who
You guys want to
else?
see a dead body?
There's some... God damn it. Who else is joining us on Sunday?
Ryan Aquino from Disc Golf Digest.
Disc Golf
Not
Digest.
the Kino.
Kino.
Just
Kino.
Just one of
Kino.
them.
Ryan
A
Aquino.
Kino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a single
I'm
Kino.
excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
Yeah.
time. And we're doing it around the sun will be coming down a little bit.
That's perfect.
Yes, so it's starting at like 5:30. Sunset is at 7:30. So we'll have some knowledge to lead into this great light, and it's at O'Brien Park in Downers Grove.
Yeah.
Which,
Yes.
if you go there, it looks like nothing, but actually, I have won photo contests there. So you can make something out of nothing at any given time.
I believe you don't have to convince me of that because just so everybody knows, Lauren showed up to Disc Golf Chicago's league on Monday night. We were just doing a doubles league, and all of a sudden in the middle of registration, KLM.
Nice.
Lauren walks up and I was like, "What? what up?" And she came out with her camera and just like KLM is a cool course. I love it. There's a lot to like about it, but it's not the most scenic place or anything. But when I saw the pictures from the event, I had like a single tear drop.
Yeah.
Were some of them of that handsome guy we've been hearing about,
Named Alex, that's going to be at the class
Yeah,
on
and
Sunday?
fortunately,
Right.
he was all a silhouette, so you didn't have to see his face, just his
Full
physique,
14.
which is picturesque. But yeah, you're so right. You've turned moments of just us walking to the basket into scenes that look like every disc golfer should want that poster on their wall.
Yeah.
Right.
I freaking love that.
Like there's going to be an explosion going on behind you walking. Like, I love that.
No, it's awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited for the class. I'm glad you're excited too. Aquino, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
That is a wrap.
Well, you did see him there.
You will have seen him there.
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
have
it was
seen
good
him
seeing
by
you
the-
there, Ryan.
There you go.
right.
That's
Good.
the tense.
We're trying to
Time travel.
We're mastering time travel.
Time
on the
travel.
show. Okay, that puts a wrap on Fired Up, and that moves us along to the Callahalander Rundown. Sean, take us into the Callahalander Rundown.
You know what it is. It's the Callahalander Spring Edition. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but there's going to be tons of details, so make sure you pay attention, folks. The Clay Track Classic 3 at Trinity is happening in less than 24 hours.
It will have happened.
It will have happened by the time they listen to this.
Time travel.
You know what it is. The mystery event went live tonight. How many spots have we filled so far, Sheila?
You have 9 spots left.
9 in uppers.
Yes.
Uppers, hopefully by the time you hear this.
Open
you have-
advanced, guys. Get your poop in a group.
It's going to be a really... 6 left.
Okay.
It's going to be a great time.
Real time.
What's funny about this event, though, is that we can now talk about it because it is in the past.
Correct.
So we can tell them
Yeah.
that it is the Greater Joliet Tour Series
Tournament Director Team Challenge.
It is going to be a match play event over at Trinity Links, where myself and Ryan and Leo Borowski and Thor Batchelor are going
Correct.
to be captains.
Correct.
There are 72 people that will be signed up by the time that you hear this. Mm-hmm. We will each have an 18-person team, seeded team, that will be competing against the other seeds match play style, 6-hole match play.
This is
So the top 2 teams will move on to play a second round. There will be one winner. Here's the catch. All of the TDs will have a predetermined project locally that we will be competing to raise funds for.
sick.
So the TD who wins not only has a winning team, which is fantastic, but we're also going to raise like $1,800 for whatever project they have in mind that they want to raise funds for.
So
Yeah.
how are teams being determined? Please tell me the 4 of you are going to stand up there and go, I want that person. I want that person.
Oh, it's better than
like
that.
gym
we're gonna do
class.
some, Ryan, go ahead and take it.
Well, I don't know exactly how because I figure Leo is going to have the details on this more than we are. But we are going to be not far away from where we are now,
Right.
over across the street at Nick and Ivy's, and we are going to do an event there where we are going to have a live draft set up.
Correct.
Well, are the players going to be at the live draft?
They can be.
They can be.
Because by the time we do this, we're at 6 people left. So
Right. So everybody's
you can
going to be
all come
signed
out.
up. And yeah, so we're going to do a live draft and pick on the spot. And I believe Leo's going to have it filmed and everything. And we're going to do it
I'm
live.
inviting
and-
myself. I'm coming.
Yeah,
It's all going to be
absolutely.
mic'd up. We're going to
Yeah.
have a
So-
good old time.
Yeah.
Picking our teams.
What's the date of the live draft?
TBD.
TBD.
Okay.
Early
Yeah.
May. Like there's 3 Mondays in May. We haven't landed on which one we're going to do. Probably the first or second Monday in May.
I should be able to be there. I'd like to go do some unstable discourse stuff while that's
If it's
going
on a Monday, I should be.
we
able
have
to do
not
that as
discussed with
well.
Jason or Alex, but you are in a big way involved in
Yes.
this situation.
You're going to have to be.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
I like the sound of
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you got to tell me.
I will bring
So,
my
when to be
handsome
there?
face.
Yeah.
That is going to be so much fun. That event is going to be also sponsored by our great friend Paul Ivnick over at Nick and Ivy Brewing. Can't wait for that one. Going to be a blast. Workforce Brewing Open 3 at Homer Glen Heritage Park goes live on April 30th. The event is on May 29th and 30th.
Yep.
After that, Clash of the Canyons 5 AM weekend. at
Have you heard of
Dellwood.
it?
Have you ever heard of it? You better listen up. It's on June 19th and 20th. Filled super quick. The player party, which we are going to be arranging with Miss Kayla, will be here at Embers
be
in
about
downtown Lockport.
12 feet below us.
Right, on the second floor.
Correct.
Where we're going to have the whole space.
In the like the reception room
Correct.
thing?
Where you got like the catwalk
sick,
and all that. So we're going to be
sick.
doing all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to set up a putting challenge, TBD. So you're going to want to come to that for
Did you
sure.
say TDB?
TBD.
TDB.
The dry
That's an
gets
office
so well.
reference.
TDB. The dry is so well. Did I say that?
I thought I heard TDB.
We'll rewind the tape.
Ryan will let us know.
If I'm
You're
wrong,
going to be picking up your player pack
It's
here.
the episode where Ryan's trying to launch the website and Ryan says TBD and then Michael says TDB.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I hope you did, because if not, this was a totally unnecessary tangent.
Oh, we'll
Ryan can
rewind.
fix that. So you're going to be picking up your player pack. There's going to be a putter challenge, like I announced. Amazing beer as always, food and raffle. So you better be here June 18th, the Friday before Clash
Friday.
AM weekend. Clash of
Can
the
we Can we put little cardboard cutouts of us in this room like we're doing the podcast, or like a wax museum type thing?
Oh, that's cool.
That would be good.
Yeah.
People can.
This could be like the VIP lounge where like you
sponsored
have to,
by get somebody to
Yeah.
sponsor the VIP lounge.
Put your heads on the popsicle sticks and give them out to
And
people.
yes.
Oh, like the big heads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big heads.
Yes.
God, full of good ideas.
Clash at the Canyons 5 DGPT Silver Series presented by Discmania.
Ever heard of it?
Ever heard of it? It is also full. But here's the thing, guys. All you AM players that are not playing that event, the spectator passes. There are still tons of them.
Many
I'm
of
gonna
them.
give you a quick rundown of what is still available. Here are the packages. So for $10, you could just get a spectator pass and you could just come out and spectate. It's that cheap. If you want to come and watch, 10 bones, no big deal. $30 spectator pass is going to get you a fanny pack. I bet that's going to be pretty cool and have some kind of Ryan Fancher reference somewhere on it. I'll talk him into
a
it.
long time coming.
I'll talk him into it. So
That's what she said.
$30, $30 spectator pass. You're getting a fanny pack and a disc. Here's the thing: that's already sold out. That package is already sold out.
That's what she
there were
said.
50 spots.
Is there an extra
It's already
fanny
full.
pack?
I wanted to buy one.
$55 spectator
news.
pass. You've got more. $55 spectator
good.
pass. You can get the fanny pack, the disc, a shirt, a koozie. That is limited to 50 spots, and there are 33 left. So when you hear this, go over to discgolfscene.com.
Jump on it.
Come on, Pete.
I would
get
do it now,
your
but my
spectator
phone's on
pass.
airplane mode.
Has to be. Leave
Well,
it.
when we're done, all right?
Fine.
$75 spectator pass. You're going to get
There's
a fanny pack. You're going to get a
Moss?
disc. You're going to get a shirt, a koozie, a hat, and a disc golf pin. Brought to you by
yeah.
Disc Golf Pins. Come on, Nina.
Is it a Dellwood? What kind of pin is it?
It's a Clash pin.
It's a Clash pin. It's
There
so
are
sick.
only 100 of those, and there are still 79 left. So if you want to get all of that swagginess and a sweet disc golf pin, come on,
and
Nina.
Yeah.
spectate the Silver
And
Series
spectate
all weekend.
Clash 5 all weekend. That's good for all weekend. Jump on those $75 spectator passes, y'all. Do it. Discgolfscene.com.
Yep.
Come on, Pete.
I know you guys got that stimulus money. You got your Dogecoin money.
Right.
Somebody cash some stuff out. Get these expenses.
Cash some out, leave some aside for taxes next year,
Yeah, leave some for taxes.
Yes.
and then buy the
But then-
$75
Yeah,
pack.
get the
Yeah.
top
Don't be a fool
tier.
now. Don't be a
It's
fool with that money.
VIP. You know how we do.
So that is the Callahalander Rundown.
Yeah.
Brought to you by, unofficially, discgolfscene.com. Come on, Pete.
Come on, Pete. What's up with Pete, by the way? Is
He
there any
has
movement there?
legitimately said that he will do something for us, and we just haven't reached out to
Yeah, we'll-
actually make that happen.
I don't even
But
want anything
we
from
will.
him. I just want to keep saying, come on, Pete.
Me too. Same.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yes. We will keep this going, and it will be fun.
If
and
Pete
he will
really
like
wants
it.
to do something, let us know. Otherwise, we're cool with just harassing you
Right.
with no real
no
goal
end in
mind.
sight.
No, correct. Yeah. I hope he gets emails like, Pete, come on.
Yeah.
I hope
Pete,
listeners,
Pete, come on, Pete. Pete.
please, we want to
Please do
start
that.
a campaign. Listeners,
just get emailed
just
every
send
5
him
minutes.
subject line, come on, Pete, with nothing, no body of the email. Just come on.
God, I
Pete.
wish I had
Come
his
on,
email
Pete.
to put out. in
Yeah,
the
right.
I'm sure you
internet
can
right
find it. Listeners, don't let us down.
Pete at discgolfscene.com.
It wasn't us. Sorry, Pete.
Sorry, Pete. Okay, that takes us into the local route.
Local route.
Ooh, good job.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That had a vibe about it.
Super.
I feel like I want to turn the lights down low.
Better talk about somebody that's around here.
That just turned creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Now nobody wants to be part of it.
Come on, Pete.
All right,
Okay.
sorry. Come on, Pete.
Yeah, local route. Ryan, do you actually have a local route this week?
I do.
First of the season?
Wow.
Have you had one yet? In
No,
season
I've
two?
had a couple,
Five in.
just not in a couple
Okay,
episodes.
okay.
So there was a person that I spoke with this week, and we've mentioned him on the podcast, but he's never actually made any of the photos in the photo dump. He mentioned it, and it was very funny to me that he hasn't. And I'm going to shout out for my local route, your friend and mine, Lil Doan,
Lil Doan.
Donnie Longton.
What?
Yeah,
Donnie has never made the album?
we've mentioned his name, but he's never made the. And he mentioned that he
He's
was
like
like
a folklore.
That means it's been bothering him for a while.
oh, for a good long time.
Yeah.
For a good long time.
And I would have felt the same way.
Sure. So he actually came over to my house and shop a couple days ago and helped me with some Clay Track Classic stuff with some Main Street Mandatory stuff that I had to do.
Yes.
And it's just generally a good time when he's around, and he helps the vibe. And
He is one of the best energies I've ever met in my life.
so he showed up. I ordered some Chipotle. He picked it up. So he had 2 bags of Chipotle in hand. He had a lollipop for my daughter. He had some Sour Patch Kids. He had
That's how you do it.
Yeah, he had a giant Diet Coke, and
Brings friendship to a different type of level.
yeah, and we rocked it out. I was printing shirts, and he was pressing trophies, and only doing a few of them upside down and redoing them.
Did he really?
He did so well until the last couple.
This is not the first time.
No. So if you ever see a shirt that is printed by me and is given away for any of our tournaments, and it looks about 28% crooked, Donnie probably printed
Longton.
that. Yeah.
Is Donnie the one who you guys gave a hard time about the pants with all the pockets?
Oh, he gave me a hard time.
Ryan
gave
a hard
you
time
a hard
about the
time.
pants.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And he
Purse
still
pants.
mentions it
Purse
bi-monthly.
pants.
Yeah. Purse pants.
I've never even seen the pants, but it makes me laugh. Just like
We'll have to find a photo
Yeah.
or find the pants.
It's there somewhere, yeah. But he came over. He does it all the time. We do our early birdie rounds with him, not as often as we would like to anymore, but we've done it for a long time. Sean has been a friend of his forever and
he
ever.
is the reason why I got into disc golf.
right. They've
Seriously.
been doing it for a super long time.
He called me up
so
one day
chill.
and was like, dude, we're going Dugan Park, let's go. And me, him, and Sheila went to Dugan and then left Dugan and went to Dick's Sporting Goods and bought the very first white 171 gram DX.
Beast.
You better know that.
And ask him about
2009.
Ask him about his. Were they Wraiths or Valkyries?
Wraiths.
Where they thought that they had to have one in every plastic. That was the way
That
to
was
do
what
it.
you had to do.
Right.
It was like that you had to have a DX and a Pro and a Champion and
But
a
this is
Star.
what Donnie believed?
Yeah. Well,
we had no
you.
other guidance.
Oh,
there was
gotcha.
no Dellwood
There
Disc
was no
Golf Pro
Dellwood
Shop
Disc- right, okay.
to explain all of this stuff to somebody.
so that folklore is great for me to listen to, but we've been good friends for quite a long time now too, and he just makes everything that we do a great time. And it was so funny that because he doesn't listen to the episodes, he doesn't have time for that. He's got too much going on.
Yeah.
But he scrolled through the photos and probably been looking for himself for a while.
Sure.
So
He's I know Donnie from Zipper Grips.
yeah,
Is that a thing? Is that still
Same
exist?
guy.
No, he doesn't do that anymore.
Okay. So when I've only talked to him 3 or 4 times, maybe. Always super friendly. But when Disc Golf Chicago first really was like, okay, this is going to be a thing, I was like, I would like to have some relationships with, sponsored type relationships. So I reached out to Donnie just to buy some Zipper Grip things so we could show our support to him first. And then I didn't say, hey, do you want to be a sponsor? I was just like, I wanted to buy these, give them to our players. He not only fulfilled the order, and he was like, yeah, of course, no problem. He sent us some free discs, some like towels, and just like a bunch of extra stuff. And he was just like, here, use these for CTPs. And I was like, this guy's awesome.
Yep.
We want to do something with him every season, but I think he just stopped doing Zipper Grips.
Yeah, he doesn't
at some
come
point.
around the normal scene too often, but he's still a hardcore disc golfer.
Yeah. Part of our inner circle.
Right.
He goes on the trip with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He gives the best hugs.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
yeah.
He looks like he would give good hugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Every time I see him.
Yeah.
So if you see Donnie around, just give him a hug. Or ask him
Donnie,
for a hug.
listeners, Donnie is the guy that will be in the shop during Incarcerated Weekend. For the last couple of years, he has covered the shop during Incarcerated and absolutely
huge.
killed it.
I think he's
And
actually going to show up for some of Clash because he's got some things. So we might see him then too.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my
It's
shout
a
out.
great local route. I can't believe he hasn't been involved in the show before this.
Yeah.
Other than
We've
making fun
mentioned
of your
him so many
pants.
times, like going on the trip and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we,
yeah,
yeah.
Never
But yeah, he deserved a moment.
We might find a photo of him somewhere to
Yes.
put on here.
Well, I feel like that's gonna be a tough one to follow. Sean, do you have a local route?
I'm going to try. Miss Michelli Lopez. So here's the deal.
Lauren is clearly has a lot of love for Michelli.
Yes.
When you said her name, you saw Lauren.
She is.
There was an aura of love,
She comes from the planet that Lauren and Sheila come from.
which is
Pleiades. It's from Pleiades.
Women are from Venus.
They're from a different planet.
Okay.
I know this. So
We noticed.
she came to me, this was many moons ago, and said she was going to be using all of her vacation time this
Yes.
year for Clash.
I remember that.
She said, I'm
Awesome.
gonna all the days I've got accrued, I'm gonna take that whole week off, whatever you need me for. Give me a
What?
job, give me a responsibility. Just straight up. This was months ago.
that's so awesome.
So it is just absolutely outstanding to be working with somebody that is willing to give up
That's insane.
that kind of thing. Like That's a different kind of level. That's
It
like
is.
there are people that will say I will volunteer, and they do, and it's amazing, and it makes the events happen. But
Sure.
when you're coming to the table with I took the week off,
Yeah.
and I will do whatever you need. That's a whole new level of volunteer that I am excited to see the ripple effect of Michelli coming in, because I am going to put that responsibility on her because I know that she really wants it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's going to be
so awesome.
so cool to see all the people that will be positively affected by that in a role that she created by going, I'm in. What do you need?
The older you get, the more everybody knows, the more valuable your vacation time gets. Like, time is the most valuable resource that any human being has. And when you
Other than Dogecoin.
Right.
there's a case to be made. But yeah, when your free time just continues to get more and more valuable the older you get. Someone who's going to take their rare and valuable time off to volunteer just to help the scene and to make it better for other people. Holy crap.
It was either that or hang out with Tim Potter, and who wants to do that?
Right? I mean,
Tim's the man.
It's a no-brainer. Sorry, Tim. Love you, dog.
Tim is the man. But that's awesome.
It's going to be great. I mean,
wanna raise my
I
glass
know
to Michelli
that.
right now.
Absolutely.
We're raising our glass.
Shelley Lopez. Cheers. Clink, 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 clink. She will no doubt be an integral part of why that weekend goes off without a hitch, and I can't wait for that to be a thing.
Do you know if she throws the machete, the machete disc at all?
She's got a ton of Discraft in her bag. I know that. I don't know. Don't know. Possibly.
If I was named Michelli, I would get a machete and I would get a custom stamp on it that just tweaked it to say Michelli.
Oh, God.
Right? That's a no-brainer.
Well, duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought of that for like 2 years. And I'm friends with her. Like whenever I see her around, I'm like, hey, what up? You know, I love to see her, but I'm not sure if she would be weirded out by me suggesting that to her.
No, she would not. She would not. If she hasn't thought about it, she will. Love it.
Sick. Thanks, bro.
She'd be like, okay,
Cool.
you clearly thought about this too
Sean,
much.
who is this guy? He's handsome, but who is this guy?
Oh, that's a great shout out. Jason, you got one?
I don't.
Okay.
Next.
Lauren,
Next
local
up.
shout out.
I want to shout out the disc golf photographers.
I thought you were shouting yourself.
I know.
out.
I was like, for a second, I was like,
Damn,
Lauren.
She just did it.
Let's be clear about this. So the disc golf photographer group is on Facebook. It's a group that I started 11 years ago from local photographers in our area. And now there's like over 2,000 members, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
10 years later,
Yeah.
and there's local photographers everywhere, and they're all doing amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how that group became, like I became aware of it just like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think I've ever
I
seen that
added you
group.
in.
Yeah. Oh, did you add me in?
Yes.
But I've been like, this is the coolest group.
And Asha is amazing on there. He's the only other admin besides me. He's kind of been like the rep when I'm not being the rep. So I love him. He stepped up one day and was like, I want to do this. And I was like, I don't know who you are,
But I love you.
but I like your ideas. So we'll try it. And
what
he's
was his
been
name? I'm
amazing.
sorry.
Asha.
We'll make sure we throw him in the.
Yeah. Let's get him in the album.
Yeah.
But I love that group. I'm afraid to say anything in there because I'm not a photographer, but I'm always liking stuff now and just like, oh, yep, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So it started, the reason it started, we had a local photographers meetup at Oakbrook Park.
Was it a disc golf photographer?
It was a disc golf photographers meetup, and we met up to do glow photographs. And I have the original photographs from that. There were like 6 of us: Jenny Cook, Mike Thompson, and a couple of others.
Okay.
But
Shout out to Jenny Cook.
Jenny Cook, discgolfphotography.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, she got the good domain.
Long time ago, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But that group is amazing, and I just can't believe what it's turned into. It's more of just a source of inspiration now. People sharing
That's
where
good.
they're from, and they love this. They might not be like pro level or whatever, but the fact that they're sharing what they love
Yeah.
and getting feedback on it, I love that.
Oh, it's so awesome.
So-
That's it's a group that just generates feelings. Like every person that's sharing these great moments in disc golf, like you, me, and all the people who aren't photographers are just like benefiting from everything you guys are doing.
Sure. Yeah.
Just
Incredible.
pulled into all these great moments that we would otherwise never know.
Capturing
existed.
moments that we will not understand for 20 years.
Yeah.
It will not be until 20 or 30 years from now when we're like, oh my God, if not for Lauren and people like her, we wouldn't have this to look back on. It would have never been captured. It's unbelievable.
This is generally shouting out all the members of the group. So you're shouting out 2,000 people.
Yeah.
I just got shot. This is my first local route shout out. I'm in that group.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, by name, list them out. Let's go.
Yep. 2000.
Let's go.
Here we go.
No. And is it? Can anybody, even if they're not a photographer, they can just kind of join and see
Oh,
what
yeah,
guys are
you
sharing,
can
right?
join. You can be an iPhone photographer, whatever. If you have local pictures to share from your area, please join our group and share what you see. Share
So
your
good.
light.
Yes.
And I've seen in there people are posting about like techniques as well. It's not just moments. It's like kind of helping each other level up, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's great. So shout out to all you disc golf photographers and Lauren's group that she started 11 years ago before I even knew you could start Facebook groups.
Right.
Shout out to being ahead of the curve.
When you were a wee sperm and your dad.
Oh,
Shout out to your dad's nuts.
22.
Close enough.
This episode drops on my birthday, by the way.
Ooh.
Damn.
What?
You old.
Yeah, 33. Yeah.
You old.
You guys want to talk about my dad's nuts more?
Having never seen them, I've talked about them a lot.
Quite a bit.
A lot
Yeah.
of dad.
Hi, Mom.
Dad's nuts. One
She
more
likes
person.
them.
Sheila says one more person until the event is full, and then we can post what the event is about.
Yeah. It will have already happened.
It will have already
Wait, so
happened.
everybody that's signing up, they still don't know
They
what
have
the event is?
absolutely
No idea.
God
zero idea.
Dang it. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No idea.
We gave them nothing except where it was.
Wow.
Do you have it?
Guts.
So now they haven't even seen the promo video, the logo, nothing.
Zero.
Oh my, you guys are next level. That's awesome. All right, that is a wrap on our local. Wait, I have a local route.
Please.
I'm a part of this show.
You are.
Local weight.
The drink, the shot. You know, I got a slight buzz going on.
Good for you.
Let it go, baby. Let it go.
My local route goes to Mike Castiglione.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Way
I
to
assume.
Way to get through that one first off.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, I should have just said Stiggs. I think that's what most people call him. Stiggs.
Okay.
But it's also Jim Clem, I believe. This is Mike and
They are good
Jim
buddies, yes.
started a beginners disc golf league called Yell 4. You guys seen about this?
This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
No.
They run it up in the north. I think it's at Fairfield, so it's northern burbs. But it's a group that's it's a league that's dedicated strictly to beginners. So don't feel intimidated to come out, start getting involved. Start to take the sport more seriously. Jason, you should look into it.
You got my attention.
If there is like one person I could elect to be in charge of bringing people into the sport, Jim Clem.
Crazy grandpa.
Jim Clem.
I don't actually know the roles of. I don't know who's running it, but I know Mike has been doing a lot of promoting for it. So I'm pretty sure it's Mike, and I'm pretty sure Jim has been kind of guiding him.
Oh,
and
I'm
giving
sure.
him a lot of advice.
Yeah.
Mike has been one of the people that stood out to me from very early on when I started to go to tournaments, and I didn't even have a real like scene yet, but I saw Mike at like so many tournaments, and every time I saw him, I'd just be like, Mike, like that's that.
I know your name, and
Well, yeah, but he
That
was
makes
always really friendly and like supportive.
Yeah,
and just
he's a
made you
great
feel,
dude.
He made you feel like you
Super good.
belong
can we
here.
sit at the same lunch table? Is that okay? Or
I straight up, I think I've done that. I've sat next to him at tournaments
I love
having
it.
lunch. I'm sure
That's
happened.
totally a thing at tournaments.
Yeah.
And
like lunch
yeah.
table.
He's always been really supportive and cool to me. But to see that he's doing this for all beginner level disc golfers now,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's so awesome. So yeah, look up Yell 4. It's I know there's a Facebook group for it, if not a
There is.
page.
Yep.
And they're running that out. I don't know what day they're running it, but it's out at Fairfield. And I can tell you that the people who are running it are some of the salt of the earth, really great dudes who just want to see more people get involved. And they're very easy to hang out with.
Outstanding.
Fantastic.
All right, that's a wrap on the local route, and that is a wrap on the local route.
Well, sure.
All right, that is
How now, brown cow?
the Human Torch was denied a bank loan. All right, that you don't get that reference,
Anchorman. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
He's doing all the practice before he starts recording all the things he says.
Right.
Ow now, brown cow. Unique New York. The Human Torch was denied a bank.
It's the best when he just starts screaming.
Oh, man. We're doing things a little bit out of order, but we need to cover what happened with the trivia challenge from the last episode. Jason.
That's right.
What happened?
Nobody got it right. Fuck 'em.
Okay.
Y'all a bunch of losers.
Losers. Nobody guessed. That
What was
Nobody
the question?
guessed. Who was our guest going to be?
We put the question out.
We did.
Challenge you guys. Who is
Yep.
going to be our next guest?
We had some good
There
guesses.
was good guesses. I think somebody guessed Thor.
Yeah. Dane
somebody guessed
Avicii was another
Pete.
guess.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nobody.
Somebody guessed our respective wives because we put our way back wedding Wednesdays.
Oh, sure.
They're trying to read too much into it.
That would have been
good.
good.
But
They saw.
if you
Does Sheila know that we're doing a Newlyweds episode at some point? Jason's going to be the host of a Newlyweds game that we're going to play.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
20
doubt
years,
that.
y'all. 20 years.
I got you beat by 2. Booyah.
Bring it.
But if you notice on the post asking who our next guest is going to be, there were a bunch of emojis and there was a camera in there.
In there.
He gave you a hint.
It was
did.
right there in front of him.
No one got
But
it.
nobody got it.
That was a really cool challenge. I can't believe people haven't got it. You're in the Hall of Fame of this show.
right.
You were the first local route to be
First.
mentioned twice.
That's
Right. The first
Not
inductee
Sean
into our
Pence.
Hall of Fame. Yep.
Well, right.
Damn.
And we have said
gonna do something.
like on multiple episodes that you were going to be on at some point.
I remain a ninja.
So yeah, nobody won. Nobody wins anything. But still, thank you.
What
Perfect
would
Putt
they have
360.
won, though?
That's a great question.
A DSLR camera.
Yeah.
You won a 2020 Hasselblad X550.
Yeah.
That sounds
Medium format.
expensive.
I don't even
Sounds
know what that
expensive.
is, but it's at least $100,000.
Yeah, right.
Wow, you guys really missed
I
out.
know, you guys
Yeah.
missed out.
They would have won Perfect Putt 360.
What is it?
It's a putting practice app designed to mimic tournament type pressure in a game that makes putting practice fun. Download Perfect Putt 360 today on the App Store and Google Play. Wait for it.
Hashtag
every
putt
counts.
Booyah.
Thank you, Perfect Putt 360.
Yeah.
While we're talking about sponsors, let's talk about another one.
Why not?
Like who?
Like AO, the mortgage pro.
Ayo.
So there's something, AO, the mortgage pro, that's Andy O'Day, the disc golfing mortgage pro who sponsors this show and has helped. I can't believe I haven't mentioned this before. He just helped Kyle Devine, Keel. He helped Keel buy his first
Just
house.
saw him tonight.
We've talked about him.
Just helped him move last weekend.
Sweet.
Ask Kyle or Keel, what was it like to work with Andy? He helped Tristan Rogers refinance his house.
Nice.
You can reach out to Tristan. What was it like to work with Andy?
Beautiful.
And there's another disc golfer I'm forgetting, but long story short, he is helping people in the disc golf community save money every month by refinancing their houses or helping them buy their first house. I don't know. I said that so weird. I said house. Andy O'Day, the mortgage pro.
You've been hit by a train twice tonight, so it doesn't surprise me.
Because you're from Algonquin.
Yeah.
Algonquin. But yeah, Andy is he's a total professional, and he's also a disc golfer. He's super laid back. He will answer your questions and help you get on the path to building wealth.
Yeah.
Stop throwing money away every month on rent. There is a much easier path to owning a home than you think, and he'll help you get there.
And we were talking about this earlier. There's more to it than just that. My first experience buying a house was almost completely ruined by a mortgage advisor who is a total douche.
Oh,
And ruined the closing for us to the point where after 6 hours, we finally got everything closed and they threw the keys across the table and said, there you go, see you later.
seriously?
Instead of like that moment where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
we got the keys.
we
They
bought
just
a
tossed
house.
them and we're like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that whole experience was terrible. Andy would not do that to you.
No, he would not.
So-
Andy would give you the shirt off his back.
Totally.
In fact, he has a promotion where if you are interested in refinancing or whatever, if you're interested in working with him in any way, he will give you a $500 credit towards your home inspection.
Huge.
And his shirt.
And he'll give you a shirt. Honestly, I'm not even bullshitting. He would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it.
He probably
He's
got
the
it from me in
Donnie
the first place.
Longton of mortgage guys.
Yes, exactly.
Is what you're trying to say.
Right.
He is absolutely salt of the
A
earth.
ringing endorsement.
He's been a brother of mine since we met when I was 15. I trust him with my life. And
You didn't
he
meet your
is-
brother until you were 15? That's weird.
That's so sad.
Yeah, no,
We'll discuss that more in the next episode.
it was weird.
Yeah, that is very weird.
But yeah, check him out, guys. He's on all the social media platforms at AO the Mortgage Pro. You can find him on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. He's all over the place.
He's getting his
a
money's worth
smart,
on this one.
savvy guy. Buying a house or refinancing does not have to be a pain in your ass. You can work with somebody who will make it easy for you and somebody you will like to work with.
Agreed.
Check him out. But up a dow, that moves us into the dry gets so well.
Right.
What
There's
combos
we've
have we not said yet?
used
I've got
so
one.
many.
The
of them.
Big Bird and Snuffleupagus.
The salt and pepper.
Of course.
Oh,
the salt and
Peppa,
pepper
like
this
the
episode.
group,
How could we not have done that?
the condiment. Got it.
I just want one more good one.
Lawrence and Fishburne.
Okay,
That's a guy's name.
Oh shit, I screwed that up.
let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What was on Joey's head?
I don't know that reference. What's on
It's a
Joey's head?
lyric from the song.
It's just, yeah.
That's one of the lyrics?
Yeah.
I thought that was
This
like a
photograph,
meme.
Every time I do it makes me laugh. Every time
How
I
did
do
our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
That's the lyric?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's like
Lauren
looking
knows.
at the photograph.
I
and
don't
discussing
even
it.
know what you're talking about.
I thought all photographers.
okay.
This is not.
Lauren is just
photography.
sitting here while we are
Are you trying to tell me that
it up.
that song is not like a national photographer's anthem?
Nickelback, Lauren.
It's Nickelback.
Nickelback. With like the meme where they make fun
I
of
leave now?
he's
Yeah,
holding the
maybe.
photograph. Look at this. Look
Oh,
at this photograph. Yeah.
That was like how long ago?
A very
long
long
time
It was
time
ago.
a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
We're
in
old
seventh.
guys.
Yeah.
We don't follow.
Yeah, for middle-aged white guys, that's still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So sorry about that.
but yeah, now we're getting into the
now. I get it now.
we're getting into the heart of the episode. The disc golf photographer. Look at this photograph, Lauren. You have so much to talk about. I've been saying this a lot lately. You're the best in the biz. I don't know another photographer who's ahead of you. We're going to get into all those things, but I kind of wanted to start with something you told me earlier that I thought was extra special. You won the very first Ledgestone Open. You were you were a pro player. You played Open, and you won the women's Open division at the first ever Ledgestone tournament.
I did. It was 2011. I won FPO Ledgestone.
Were you playing many other Open events before that?
I think at that period, I had pretty much just switched over to pro.
In 2011, Ledgestone wasn't what Ledgestone is today.
Did it start as a C tier? I think, was it a C tier or was it a B? What tier was it? Do you remember?
I don't even know what tier it was. It was.
That's how on top of her game she was. Just
didn't
concentrating
care.
on
She was out there.
beating the FPO field.
She
No
just
big
wanted to
deal.
crush. It didn't
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like,
Don't
oh,
matter.
But still, you were an Open player for some period.
Yeah. I don't know how long. I couldn't even tell you. And I kind of faded off because as soon as I turned pro, it was like, because I was playing AM, I was cashing in the pro field as an AM player. And then when I turned pro under PDGA status, I never cashed again.
We're gonna cut that part out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No,
Can't
don't
let
cut
the
it.
listeners know that.
Don't cut it.
she got all the cash. She won them all.
After that, you decided I'm gonna go into photography.
So I'll take you back to 2009 Kansas City World Championships. I was playing the amateur field. Paige Pierce was in that field at that time.
In 2009?
In 2009.
Wow.
I thought, how old is Paige Pierce? I thought she was early 20s. I guess not.
No, she's
no,
like late 20s.
she's late 20s. I think 27, 28, something like that.
Oh, wow. So she's been going hard since
Forever.
day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grip blocked almost every single shot that first round, and I put myself second to last. I worked my way back up to like 16th place, and I barely missed the cut, but that was like the best thing that ever happened to me was missing the cut, because then I knew I could take pictures. I caddied for Brigitte Lagerholm during
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
during the semifinals. She had thrown out her back, and I decided I was going to caddy for her. And then I photographed all the finals. And when I was photographing the FPO, Des Redding came running up to me. I didn't know she was running up to me. I looked around. I was like, who is she running up to? And who is she running to? And she was coming right at me. And she handed me a Pro Wraith right out of her bag.
Why did she know that you, why was that like a special thing?
She just wanted to say thank you for me taking pictures
Oh.
of them in the finals.
That's so awesome.
That is so awesome.
I still have that. I almost got a hole in one with that disc in a tournament.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Okay,
two.
so you were a photographer before you were an open player.
Yeah. So my first word was light.
As a baby, your first word was light?
My first word that my mother will tell you that I spoke was light.
Okay, it was written in the stars.
It was written in the stars. And I always took pictures on family vacations and stuff. But in high school, I signed up for a darkroom photography class. And my mom gave me her old film camera, which didn't work when she gave it to me. And I needed this camera for the class. So I took it apart and I fixed it myself.
How did you know how to do that?
Because her first word was light.
Because my first word was light.
It was written in your DNA.
And I literally
planet.
just knew I had this thing and I had to fix it. And I took 2 years of that darkroom photography class. I got a college credit for it. Thank you to my father, Rick Neely.
Radar Rick, no big deal.
Radar Rick. I had him call me out of all my afternoon classes in high school so that I could stay in the darkroom.
Oh, he's the cool dad.
Wow.
He was.
He is the cool dad.
You were into photography from day one. And where does disc golf come into the picture? Did you have friends who played, or where does that introduction happen?
So 2004, I was riding the train to work. I've worked at the same place for 18 years. Communications coordinator.
Crazy.
For a bankruptcy turnaround management company. But I met a friend, Rick, who was actually a neighbor of ours. Chris and I started playing casual rounds of disc golf with him. Chris and I started going on road trips.
Wait,
and stuff.
did he kind of push you into it, or how did you decide I'm going to go play with Rick?
He was like, hey, you want to come out, play the Lombard 9? And we were like, yeah, why not?
Just down for whatever.
Yeah, totally down for whatever. And we had a couple of years of that. 2007, I was taking a swim class with Mike Thompson, who's another photographer
Oh, okay.
and disc golfer. And he was like, hey, Illinois State is coming up. You guys should play. Chris and I signed up for Illinois State. I shot dead last in that tournament. It was 90 degrees and Chris had no water. We were almost late for our second tee times. But at the end of all that, we were like, this is the best thing that ever happened to us.
Do we think Jesse was running Illinois State at that time?
Deaf.
Yeah. And actually, when we were running late to the hole, I think Steve Olson was like, "You're running late. Get out there. This is where you're
That's
at."
a thing.
It was like
I think there's a
Steve-O.
lot of people that have showed up late to their tee time second round.
I feel like
Ohio
Steve-O
State.
was on
I
his-
did that. That happened to me.
Yeah, his World War II era motorcycle.
Correct.
Just get to your tee times. Yeah.
Were you a disc golf photographer yet, or you were just into photography and liked playing disc golf?
I was into photography and I liked playing disc golf competitively.
Okay. You're developing photography talent along the way. Where did you decide I should just start photographing disc golf?
I mean, that definitely was at the 2009 World Championships when I captured Avery Jenkins' winning putt in the final round. It was a sudden death playoff between him and Josh Anton. At that time, it was only the second sudden death playoff in men's pro open at Worlds. The previous sudden death playoff, Greg Hosfeld had won in 1982.
Good Lord.
Wow.
So I captured this moment, getting that photograph. I knew it was going to happen. And I just happened to be the one to get, I remember belly flopping over the crowd to get this shot. And I had a brand new 28 to 300 Tamron lens with my Canon Rebel. And I just got it. And I sent the photos to the editor of the magazine, Disc Golfer magazine, John Winery. And I sent him every vacation photo I took at the 2009 World Championships, 500 photographs in a Kodak gallery. And he was like,
Who are you?
"Who are you? Thank you for sending me all this. What are you doing? I can't believe you got this moment." I had tears in my eyes.
Wow.
At that moment, I was like, my career's over. I'm going home.
You thought you peaked?
I thought I peaked. That was the end of it. It was over. It was all over.
Sending 500 photographs today, I'd be like, how the crap do you send 500 photographs online? I don't know how you do that in 2009.
It was like a photo share, like Kodak Gallery. That's where you print, like make prints online. Like I had no other way to share these photographs. I didn't even know like what I was doing. It was.
Did you know before you went to that event that you were kind of hoping to capture moments that you were going to send to them? Like, was that a thing you were aspiring to get into the magazine?
So yes, absolutely. I was aspiring for that. The purpose of me getting that 28 to 300 millimeter lens was so that I could zoom in for shots like that.
So you invested in a lens specifically so you could get some great disc golf moments.
Absolutely.
This is a callback to Michelli earlier, because I know lenses that's the most expensive part of photography, yeah?
It's the glass.
Yeah, it's the glass.
Can I ask, what did you spend on that lens?
It was $900.
Wow.
My lens now is $2,500.
Yeah.
Good
I was going to say
God.
900 in
So-
2009.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot of dough.
So,
So you went out and invested in this because you just wanted to get into the magazine.
Yeah.
And how many people saw that moment, and how many, that opened so many doors for you. You made this investment and you got into the magazine, and you got all this exposure, and it opened all these, you must have got such a buzz from getting published.
it was amazing. It was unspeakable. I know.
And also probably somewhat unheard of. Like it's not like there was tons of people that were doing that at that time or even for years prior.
No, and I mean, after that, I had gone to Worlds in like 2010, and I was following like Ken Climo showing Dave Feldberg the line down one of the holes, and I can just remember that period in time in disc golf. In my mind, that's analog, like in
Right.
photography. Disc golf is digital now. I can just remember looking around and being like, I am the only one out here, and Ken Climo is showing Dave Feldberg the line.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Was there no other like disc golf photographer that you kind of looked up to, or like, who paved the way for you? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why were you so ambitious about this?
I mean, there were a couple that were into it, but I think my real ambition at that time came from endurance. I always loved endurance. It's kind of a sad story, but it's really what kind of trajected my life. My cousin Mike died in high school when he was a senior and I was a sophomore. And I was taking a lifeguarding class, and I had missed so many days or whatever. And they made you make up laps. And in one period, I made up 40 laps in one sitting. And at that time, that is like what broke me mentally of what I knew I was capable of. And I knew I was capable of doing more. And I really got into the sports side of things. So like for me, I love watching surf culture. I love Jack Johnson. I love culture. And disc golf, for me, to see it from an analog perspective to a digital point in time, and to capture the culture of the people who have put their lives into this and the hard work and have literally lived their lives by the wind, and to be the one that documents that.
You're going to make me cry right now.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's
This
ridiculous.
is what I think about every time I see Lauren, who also, by the way, will just be there. I won't even remember it to be like, hey, oh yeah, Lauren, there's this tournament happening.
Right.
She's just there and then capturing everything. Like, it's
That's why
outstanding.
it's a real art. She's not
Yes.
doing it for anything other than
Yes.
the love of
Yes.
doing it.
And that's the thing too. I mean, now you look at, so I've been around the game since like 2004, and I have literally had people come up to me, hey, I can't walk anymore. My friend died. You captured this moment. I connected with a person on the disc golf photographers group who I haven't talked with in 15 years. I can't believe you started this. And the thing is, when I go out and I go to the events and I go to the grand opening of the Canyons and I go to Imparcerated and I go to the local events here and I show up at Disc Golf Chicago, I know that every single one of you is making history. You might not know it now, but you're going to find out that you are.
Oh my gosh. There's so much happening right now.
Talk amongst yourselves.
We need a moment.
It's heavy.
I hope people.
heavy.
I hope it's coming through for listeners because I'm starting to understand why. We've all talked about this before. When Lauren shows up to the event, it's not just a photo. She takes you in. You're there. That couldn't happen if it wasn't driven by so much passion and so much love. There's such a deep human connection that comes through in these photos. That's why people have your freaking disc golf photos in their living room. They're like it's true art. It's not just a.
And we were talking about this earlier. You mentioned it. You can sit back and watch videos from 10 years ago or 15 or 2 weeks ago or whatever it is. And those videos are great to watch and they're fun and, of your family or the last thing you did or a birthday party or whatever. But photographs it's different. It hits hard.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a certain amount of you seeing what you want to see. It's not everybody sees the same thing when they look at a photo.
Sure.
Everybody kind of sees what I think they kind of want, what they want to see. Is there another, I don't know if there's another medium that does that. I'm sure there is, but it's one of the things that I think makes photography so special and why there is a real difference between taking pictures and capturing moments, which is what we've always said. That's what Lauren does. Lauren captures moments. Sure. You're documenting the history
and your memories.
It's really cool to see you get so emotional about this. It really highlights why what you do is so special and why people need to keep supporting you. People need to subscribe on Patreon. People need to go buy the prints at the shop. Like this kind of love and passion, it's 1 in a billion. It's so special.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I almost want to take another shot right now.
I don't know if we can survive.
Careful.
Yeah. Oh man.
Is it water, vodka, or another shot of Jack?
We made a post earlier asking people what their favorite disc golf photographer photos were. I love seeing people chiming in. Some people were chiming in with like, "Oh yeah, I love that one. I have that one in my living room." There's a connection, between people. Do you guys know what your favorite photos were?
Too difficult.
Yeah,
too many
that's
good ones.
rough.
Like that. I've seen too many amazing photos from her to just land on one. For me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took the cheap answer and just picked one that I was in, and I was like, I love that one.
Oh, you mean that handsome guy Alex was in?
The other day, right?
Right. Yeah.
When you were just at KLM.
Yeah. And I was
silhouette
like,
was
I know that
phenomenal.
Lauren's taken much more amazing photos, probably, but like that one hit me in my feels.
There's a picture of Trinity and the little island and the basket out on the island, and it's fall and the lighting is just right, and everything around that island is kind of dark, like black almost, and the water is super dark and black, and it's almost like a halo of trees around it. And whatever happened with that photo was fantastic. I've used it for trophies, actually, with her permission. And
I was going to ask about that,
but it's definitely one of my favorites. When you look at that photo, you can feel Trinity. Like,
Yes.
exactly what
colors in
the
that
whole
photo,
course is just by looking at that photo, and that's just one example for me.
The
but
browns
I love
and
that one.
yellows and greens in that photo
it's
are
so
just
perfect.
like-
Yep.
I've said before, I've never been to Incarcerated, but I feel like I have because I've poured through your photo so many times about it that I feel like, oh yeah, I loved Incarcerated. I was never there, but I honestly feel like that's something
You can
I
feel
went
that
to.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one really good one that she took. I've got in the shop. I need to get up. It looks like if you didn't know at a glance, it looks like an old timey photo from 1850 prison when it first opened.
Yeah.
And then the Dellwood van is in there, and I was like, oh,
That's
from Incarcerated. That's not an old photo.
Who had my van in 1850?
Oh my God, time travel.
See, we've been mastering time traveling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Time travel. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I meant to. So I bought when Lauren came out to our last recording, the first field trip we took out at
Workforce. Yeah.
Workforce. And I bought one of the photos and with a really beautiful frame. And your website makes it so easy to do that. It's in my living room now, but to be honest, I bought it because I wanted to put it in the shop. I meant to bring it tonight and give it to you and have a moment, but we had a moment without it. So I will bring that at some point. I want that in the shop.
Yeah.
It's like an aerial view looking down on us just doing our thing, just having a good time doing the podcast.
That's a moment, man.
It's a moment.
Sure enough,
That's a
freaking moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the fact that it was the first time we left the shop. It was like, there's a lot of reasons we love the episode, but like,
We were all naked. Oh, man. What a good photo. Yeah. You remember that, guys?
So handsome.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
there's just, you saw something in that moment and grabbed it. And now it's something that's going to bring all of us joy for forever.
Yeah.
Infinitely.
So cool. So cool.
In perpetuity.
In
As
purple
Ryan likes to
purity.
say, in perpetuity.
What's that word?
So I would love to know if there's anything that is there like a unicorn moment or an event of something that you would love to capture at some point? Is there something that you're like, one day I really want to get this?
I mean, this is kind of hard for me because I've already been like the Disc Golf Pro Tour photographer for a year. And I've traveled across the country and things. But I think what really gets my heart is when I show up at local events and people are like, oh my gosh, you're here and you're documenting me and they always say I'm a nobody, but you're a somebody. And it's so fun to capture that. Like even, at the Dog Bowl, Matt Rooney.
Room Dog,
he told me afterwards, I didn't even know, but he like threw in this 100-foot putt and it was so amazing to watch. But he came up to me afterwards and he's like, I wasn't going to go for that, but you were there.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And I threw it in.
Ripple.
And I'm like, all right, I'll be there next time too.
Dude,
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Ripple.
Mm-hmm. When you showed up to leagues just the other night and you were capturing us throwing our drives, I was like, I gotta do something special here.
I gotta get on this one.
Yeah, this could be a moment that I relive for the rest of my life. I gotta throw well.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, we would be so out of our minds if we didn't talk about the connection you have with Paul McBeth. And we also need to talk about Wayne. Most listeners probably know who Wayne is already, but you shared something on Facebook just the other day about Paul McBeth from 10, 11 years ago?
2011.
And he was like commenting to you. He was like, he wanted to talk to you.
I was hired by Disc Golf Planet TV to cover the 2011 memorial. And I kind of forgot with Facebook. I guess I saved that conversation between me and Paul McBeth.
Before he was
Paul McBeth,
yeah.
I saved this conversation. I can't even believe that I saved it, to tell you the truth.
This was back when people were still poking each other on Facebook.
And exactly.
Right.
And I kind of forgot the fact that if I make a comment on this, the rest of the world sees this too. But anyways, it was 2011 memorial. He had never really won anything big. Well, let's
never would. Yeah,
let's dial it back a notch because I met him at 2008 World Championships in Kalamazoo.
Love
and
Kazoo.
Chris, my boyfriend. Oh, by the way, I'm getting sued like $20,000 right now just for mentioning his name. But so he told me to go. He was like, "That's Paul McBeth. Go get his autograph." And I was like, I don't even really know who he is. Okay, I'll go.
That's so cool.
I just remember like running up to him and I'm like, hey, can you sign this disc? And he's like, you know who I am? I'm like, oh yeah.
No, but my boyfriend does.
I know who you are.
I'm supposed to.
I'm supposed to know who you are. Yes. And it was like classic Paul. He had that shaggy California haircut. And then fast forward to this trip. At the memorial, I got a Fly Mart booth and I had my photographs there. I had a binder full of 8x10 prints and I had a shoebox of photographs. And I was selling those photographs for about $0.25 a piece. And
I said this earlier. It's like, that's just straight garage sale.
Straight up
buy
garage
these pictures
sale.
for $0.25 out of a shoebox.
I'm sitting there selling photos for $0.25, and right next to me it's Avery Jenkins and UC Maresma selling out of all their discs, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? This is insane. Disc golf is insane. But Paige came up and bought a couple photos out of the shoebox, and Paul came up and he was looking through the binder and he said, do you have any large prints of me? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, but I might have some in my shoebox. And he was like, I'm just a shoebox photo guy. I'm like, I didn't mean it like that. It was like so embarrassing. And
not for long, Paul.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's what the comment was, because I didn't even understand the comment. Did you guys see the interaction? Paul left a comment, I think, or it must have been a comment to you on your wall, maybe.
Yeah, he made a comment on my portfolio April 2011 after the memorial, and he said, am I still a shoebox?
Yeah, he was kind of like,
player?
So am I still a shoebox guy or what?
So
Wow.
That tournament was Paul McBeth's first national tour win. And when he got done scoring and I was taking pictures and stuff, he came up to me and he said, I won because of you. Because of your
Because you put him in the shoebox.
Because I put him in the shoebox. And
so
that
awesome.
was the day I truly became a Paul Macbeth fan, because I could see the fire within him from something like that.
So many instances just in the stories you've shared with us now. What happens when people know you're there taking photos, or when you put them in a shoebox?
Yeah, right.
They listen, man.
You have power.
I didn't know that then. Now I know. Holy cow.
But yeah,
That
I
should
mean,
be a thing at all the local events now. Hey, Lauren, can you take my photo and put it in a shoebox and
Yeah,
sell it for
right.
a quarter
So-
so I can be better?
That's like it's like an origin story thing. Like
Right.
you want to start out in the shoebox
You want
because
to be a shoebox photo.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a
You got to
thing.
work your way out of the shoebox.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, because I read that thread back from 2011, and I was basically responding to him at that time, like, sorry, you're not going to make it on the magazine because they already made their cut for pictures or whatever. But I had praised him, and I was like, I see a lot of potential in you.
Yeah.
And I mean, here we are literally 10 years later to the date, and we know who Paul Macbeth is,
Yeah.
and he's starting his foundation.
Yeah.
Like, what is the next 10 years going to look like? That's what excites me.
Can you imagine telling Michael Jordan before he's Michael Jordan, like,
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're going to do great things,
Yeah.
and having it documented and public for everyone to see.
Yeah.
You are like,
She's the Oracle.
yeah, exactly.
She is.
So let's bring it back though, full circle. 2008 Ledgestone. I had some time to reflect on my own life, and I ended up printing a bunch of photographs, and I made a shoebox of photographs of Paul Macbeth from all the tournaments that I captured him in, and I gave him that shoebox full of photographs.
Oh,
my
man.
God. Now,
Along with all the other touring pros there, because they heard I was giving out envelopes, and it was really like so special to share moments with
Oh,
them.
man, I
Like
bet
10
they-
years
yeah.
after the fact, it was like,
so you're not just our treasure locally. The pros on a national scale probably know who you are,
her.
yeah,
and they want you to
Call her
capture
Nicolas
that.
Cage because she's a national treasure.
yeah.
National-
I'm not gonna let you steal the Declaration of Independence.
And they're all
Thank
good.
you.
They're
So
all
you're
good
officially
friends.
the biggest celebrity in disc golf of all of us.
They're
No
all
doubt.
good friends. We're just all friends. We're just out there doing what we love, following our hearts.
It's so sweet.
Man. And I'm
So
just in it for the money. I'm doing it the wrong way. Man.
So okay, before we got to cover one more thing before we get to Jason's
I've got some questions too, but go ahead.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think people who don't even disc golf probably saw this in their social media feeds at some point. It was like ESPN, I think. I saw it on the biggest disc golf profiles across social media. There was a very special moment with an older gentleman named Wayne. Do you want to tell us about it?
Wayne Glabe. So I was having a personal moment myself at the 2019 Ledgestone, and I was pulled over on the side of the road. I was just like, why am I here? Why am I here photographing disc golf? I went over to Eureka Lake right after that, and I saw this little old man just kind of standing there behind the tee on hole one, taking pictures of the players, and he made me laugh so hard. Me and the camera guy were like, who is this guy? And at the end of the tournament, I saw him taking pictures of Paul Macbeth coming down from the podium after he won. And I captured that because that's what I learned in photojournalism from John White's class. That's what you do. You just keep taking pictures. It just made me laugh. And I was like, hey, can I get a photo of the two of you together? It was like the most genuine moment I have ever captured in getting like a group shot like that. And I remember leaving that tournament, and the Vicis invited me for ice cream nearby.
The Aviciis?
The of Vicis, yeah.
The Vici family, Dana Vici, the whole family was there. Madison Walker was there, and Paul Oman, and we're just sitting there eating ice cream. And I was just thinking about this moment that I had captured, and I'm like, I don't even know who this old man is. And I posted the photo on my Instagram, and people I think I got like 500 likes on it, which was kind of insane at that time.
At that time, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to find him and send him a print. And I asked Nate Heinold, and he was like, I don't know who that is. And I kind of asked around, and nobody really knew who he was. And then that's when I reached out to the whole community, and I was like, I need your help finding this person. And there were so many clues that came in. I ended up finding his neighbor, who was going to give me his phone number so that I could call him. But in the meantime, Nate Heinold just happened to be driving to the post office in Washington, Illinois, and looked over at the gas station that he was driving by, and there he was. And he zipped in there, and he wrote down his phone number, and he called me to give me the number, and I called Wayne. I was like, I want to send you this print. It was amazing. I made it like a full formal thing. I put it on letterhead. I sent him an 8x10 print. And then we had agreed to meet at Worlds in Peoria. Again, this is still 2019. The most amazing thing that ever happened in my entire life happened. Paul won Worlds, and Wayne was there to greet him on the 18th green. In the crowd, I don't even know how he was there. And Paul just hands Wayne his putters.
Paul knew who Wayne was.
Paul knew the story of the fan Wayne was the fan that stole my heart. And that story went viral. I had never had anything go viral like that. It was crazy. And I just remember talking to like Wayne's family. I was following up with everybody. I was following up with his daughter. And his daughter was telling me that Wayne's great-grandson, who was 5 years old, like couldn't believe that great-grandpa was a star. And
oh my God.
As soon as I got wind of his grandson, I was like, how can I communicate this more to his grandson than make disc golf pins? So the pins were made, and I probably sent them about half the pins that were made.
Discgolfpins.com?
Discgolfpins.com.
Come on, Nina.
Nina, you're amazing. The artwork was amazing. And
it was perfect. Those pins
It was so perfect, yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it.
We're
pen pals. Wayne and I are pen pals to this day.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Peoria to Florida. He's like 93 years old, and I follow up with him all the time.
I'm so excited just to put that picture in the album for the episode. And of course we should share, because you wrote about this, right? There's a blog about the whole thing.
It's on my website.
It made it into Disc Golfer magazine, right?
Yes.
So there's you could read about this all over. It really went everywhere, but we'll share more about it. You guys
that was an experience. Like, there are moments where you say you wish you could be a fly on the wall when things happen. And I actually was a fly on the wall of that happening, like third or fourth person perspective, whatever. I watched you watch that happen. And to me, it was, like another level removed. I got to watch Lauren have a special moment with Wayne and Paul and her capturing it. And I just got to see it. And I have photos from my perspective on, just on the phone, but it was.
Do you still have those? Like, can we?
Absolutely. Yes.
We need to throw that in the album too.
Absolutely. Yes.
But you loving that moment so much, and then the rest of the disc golf world was captivated by the whole story and captivated by how much you loved that moment.
So let me tell you this. The disc golf photographer did not happen before the fan that stole my heart story.
Did you not start calling yourself that until after that?
It was after that.
Yeah, you were LEL photography.
I was LEL photography for years, and I did that story, the fan that stole my heart. And for a long time, I wanted to separate LEL photography from the disc golf. Mentally, I couldn't handle having these two brands together, and I knew that they needed to be separated, but I didn't know how. So I was at lunch one day at work, and I was sitting there, and I was like, how can I do this? And then I was like, what about discgolfphotographer.com? Did I ever even look up that domain? I didn't. I did it at that moment, and I wasn't even halfway finished through my lunch, and I saw that it was available. I picked up my bag. I ran back to the office, bought it, and I did not tell a soul about it for 2 days. On the second day, I told Chris. Now I'm at $40,000. I told Chris.
I'm sorry, who?
60. Can I go for 80?
Then I think I waited like another 2 weeks, and I was kind of quietly telling people, I was like, I got discgolfphotographer.com. And they're like, what? And every time I would say it, I'd go back to the site and I would double check that I spelled it right. And it was like, is this happening?
I remember getting those messages and just the excitement that was coming from the messages of just like, you couldn't be more stoked for her that like this was a thing.
I can't believe it was available, but the disc golf photographer was taken on Instagram, so I ended up getting the disc golf photographer for like my social channels, which I'm not the only disc golf photographer. I love all disc golf photographers. I love what you're doing. I love that you're continuing it. We need more of you for me to kind of be a representative of that after that much time and to put people in the field. Hey, you weren't in the magazine. You were at this event. I was at this event. Clearly, I have the images and can submit them myself, but you were there too. So please, I'm going to tell the editor, submit your photos so that you can get in too. Or I need help at this event. Can you help me at this event? Because disc golf is at a point right now where we need more help.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the demand is so high, and this goes across the board for all the areas of disc golf. The demand is so high, we need more people to keep stepping up and helping to meet the demand. So, no, you're 100% right. I just wanted to say, I don't believe there's no fact or story someone could tell me that would make me think somebody cares more deeply about this than Lauren Lakeberg. I don't believe it.
Amen.
That's amazing. You've done it again. We've had another moment. Can we talk about the number 11?
Okay.
I don't know what this is about, but I've seen a lot of people asking about it in the mailbag.
Half the mailbag.
I know Sean has brought up that you love numbers before.
So I'll tell you the origins of it. I was in John H. White's photojournalism class at Columbia College, and he would always say, what time is it? Time is so important. And after that, I'm like, it's always on the 11. And
what does that mean?
So like when I look at the clock, it's on the 11. So I started to notice.
You always happen to look at the clock when it's on the 11?
Yeah. And not just the clock. I'll look at the screen. There will be a sports team on and like Jersey 11's there. Or like I'll pull up to the 11th pump at the gas station. Like I'm on my way somewhere, I'm doing something, and it's just like number 11 is there. So I think the eeriest thing about this in the terms of disc golf, because I know that we could do an entire podcast on how 11 has changed my life. But
wow.
It's definitely came from a point at which I started to lead from my heart more. I stopped listening to my head and I started to do more of what my soul wanted to do. Back to that 2019 Ledgestone when I was questioning why I was even there. Every hour on the hour, it was 11. And then at the World Championships, a good friend of mine, her granddaughter had a baptism and she gave me a keychain leading up to the World Championships. This is a week before it. And it was dated 8/11. And it's an angel on a keychain. And she handed me this keychain and I held it up to my heart and I was like, something big is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's about to happen. And I went to the World Championships. And again, every single time I pulled my phone out of my pocket, it was on the 11. I went to Culver's and my order was 11:11. At going to the gas pump, it would end in 11. It was like an abundance of 11s that I couldn't even comprehend. And then Paul gave Wayne his putters. And in follow-up to that, I found out that Wayne is a retired priest.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
I wish people could see Jason's face while you were. Well, as you're explaining, Jason is sucked in hard. He's like, he needs to know.
Yeah. It's freaking me out. I love it.
I mean,
love
it's
it.
kind of weird. It happens all the time. It happened like just randomly the other day at work. My computer was totally kaput, and the IT guy came up to help me, and it was 12:11. He's like, "I'm here to help you," and I'm like, "I know you are, and you're gonna fix my stuff right now."
That's so nuts.
And he did.
great.
He fixed my problems. And it happened all the time. So recently, I dropped off a print at the Dellwood Disc Golf shop last weekend.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah, last weekend.
And I just happened to drop off the print at 11. Or Corey was in the shop, and he's like, Sean's going to be here around 12. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what time is it now? We both look at the clock. It's 11:11. I'm like, okay. I walk out. I'm like, well, something's going to happen now. I don't know what it is. And Eric Blythner, the following day, which was 4:11, got a hole-in-one on KLM.
Don't you say hole 11.
He, not on hole 11, it was hole 13. But the print that I had delivered to Dellwood was the print that he picked up that same day.
Nuts.
Why I was there.
So I had to tack onto this story. I was in the shop and I knew that she had dropped that off. And I saw the print underneath the counter, and I just happened to look out the window, and that's where Eric, he was out in the parking lot. So I grabbed it because my thing at the shop is always like, if something's here and it needs to go to somebody,
Yeah.
get it the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it and I ran out to the parking lot and I gave it to him. Then he came in, and then that's when, like, later, was it later that day? The next day he went out to KLM and then hit the ace on 13, and it was like this
Or
whole...
the same day. It was the same day,
He
picked
right?
up the print
Yeah,
on
it
the
was
same day. I
yeah.
dropped it off the day before
Yeah.
at 11:11.
But it was
Yeah.
just this whole web of... I'm just going to start calling them Laurenisms. Well, I goof
Yeah.
around and I say that she's from a different planet. What I mean is, like, you have a different aura around you. When you
100%.
are around, things are like... The veil is much thinner, and magical things happen that I cannot explain, but I 110% believe in the process of everything that you are involved in.
Everything being
I don't know how to
interconnected.
explain it,
Yeah.
but what I know is that I am inspired by how magical things are when she's involved in them.
This is the most time we've ever spent together, and I feel exactly what he's talking about. I know what you mean.
It's a weird thing for me too, because I'm starting to learn more about myself in that sense. And my aunt had told me a couple years ago, when I really started to notice this thing, she was like, "You're clairvoyant," and I always had to like look that up. But it's really like having another sense. I think the thing is, when I'm out in the field or I'm doing what I'm doing, I can almost like feel what other people are feeling, and then I feel what I feel, and I feel like this abundance of love. And when I see that number 11, I'm like, I'm on this path and I need to push forward with whatever it is, because it's here to show me that I need to do this thing.
Getting chills, dude. I'm getting chills.
Straight up.
It's very interesting. And just another 11:11 that happened that I'm thinking about now. I don't know if you remember, Sean, again at the Dellwood Disc Golf Pro Shop, I saw a guy wearing a t-shirt, 11:11. And the next day, Disc Golfer magazine called me up to tell me that I had the cover of the magazine.
Get the heck out of here.
So
What?
it's just,
I expect it to happen at this point.
it's my good ghost.
I really believe that things happen
It's
for a
like
reason.
every couple of days, there's a new message on Instagram from Lauren that's like, oh, by the way,
Yeah. Insane.
this happened.
It happens
and-
a lot. I was at the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and I couldn't find my car keys, and I was hanging out with
It's
Eco,
10:11
and I was
right now.
and it's 10:11 right now.
I just checked the time.
Of course it is. I mean, why wouldn't it be? And
The craziest part is it's been 10:11 for the past hour.
and
I can't figure out why that's happened.
It's actually Tuesday right now.
yeah, I mean, it's just like sometimes I'm frustrated with life, or like, I'm not, like, I lost my car keys and I couldn't find them, and I'm 7 miles off the main road, and it sucks. But I just know that's the universe telling me to, like, slow down, drink a White Claw, catch with your dog for a minute. You're going to find your car keys because you got here. And I found my car keys, and I go to my phone, and it's 2:11. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? And I'm back on my way again.
I think we can all get behind that. Have a White Claw.
Yeah.
Play with your dog.
Wait till 11.
Everything was going to work out.
Everything's
Legitimately pay attention to the things that are happening around you. You don't just pay attention to the things that are happening around you. That's all I can say to people about like what has happened to me in my life. I feel like I've just paid attention to the little details, and I align with like the way that Lauren thinks about life. And if you tap into that, I'm not saying that like it's going to lead you to the winning lottery ticket, but it's definitely going to lead you to a better headspace.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately going to give you the wherewithal to go where you need to go.
It's like your conscience or your North Star, your compass, your personal compass.
Absolutely.
Look for your North Star basically and follow.
I call it my blue ooze.
Your blue ooze?
From the movie Donnie Darko.
Oh.
He's got, I mean, it's a bad example because in that movie it's like terrible, but like
that movie's awesome.
He's got the like ooze projecting from his chest. That's what I say that I follow is my blue ooze.
Yeah, you got to follow your passion. If you're not following the heart, your own heart, what the hell are you doing? You want to call your grandma?
Preach.
You want to call your loved one? You call them. Do not waste a second of that.
Oh my God. Literally an hour before we got here, my wife and I were talking about my Aunt Barbara. She's like, when have you called her? And I was like, I don't know. I really need to. And then I just brushed it off. Like, I'll call her later. I should have called her on the way here.
Yeah.
I'm going to call her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Did you have something you really wanted to get to?
My questions have no bearing on any of this now. So
we've transcended.
It doesn't matter.
We've transcended.
We're floating. Guys, we're floating. Look down. Guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, Ryan. What do you got?
No, I had completely technical questions that don't have anything to do with it because I nerd out over technical questions.
Yeah,
So,
you've got photography stuff you want to talk
My
about.
question is, I experience it all the time, and I'm sure Lauren does, and disc golf is a prime example of it. There's a thing that's called the law of diminishing returns, where your peak, your talent can go to, let's say, for your personal talent or your personal experiences can go to 100%. So when you are at about 95%, to get that extra 5% takes way more energy than the first 95%.
Right.
Like you can't, to get to 100% is impossible, essentially. Like it's a weird logarithmic scale, right? Mm-hmm. So, but you're always attempting to do that. We always do that with disc golf. You always try and get better. You always do that. There's a point at which your personal experience and your talent and all of that can only get you so far, and the equipment that you are using can get you farther. For me, it's always been a question of, do I buy that crazy great microphone to capture this thing, or can I just do what I need to do by learning more and getting better at what I'm doing? Or can Lauren not use that $2,500 lens and capture what she does? Or is that essential to what she's doing? Or do I need a new Wraith in my bag? Is that going to get me to 400 feet? Or do I just need to learn more about what I'm doing? And where's the separation between I'm as good as I'm going to get until I get better equipment? Or do I just need to get better? As Lauren, can I take the photos that I take with an old film, Nikon FM2, or do I need a Canon 5D with that $2,500 lens? And my question to all of you is, where is that line? Because you mentioned last week that there was a video that you posted up to us with the AUDL, the Ultimate League.
Yeah.
And there was like a promo video, and it was amazing. And you're like, I hope to get there one day. There's a feel to that video, and I need it. And I think your experience and your talent with that is good enough. I just don't think the equipment that you have is allowing you to get there. And I hate to say it because that's going to make you spend money, and I don't want to do that.
No, the thing is, I've already spent the money. I just haven't spent the time to learn how to use those things.
And that's
why I'm talking to Lauren and going to this class.
What is your experience, Lauren, and all of us? Like, where do you finally say, okay, I've gotten as far as I can go. I need better stuff versus I just need to learn more.
That's a really interesting topic.
So, I mean, I've reached points we're always limited by what we have, whatever resources we have, money, time, you put it all into effect. I mean, there's been times with my new setup, I mean, it's not top of the line. It's middle of the line. Maybe it's not even middle of the line. But it gets me what I need. So you kind of need to weigh your checks and balances as to what you need over what you want to make things happen. So I would say it's definitely not the equipment. The stories that you share with people are more from the heart. Who you share those with, how you gravitate that message as to whatever it is you're creating. I think that's the more important fact in that. Like for me, I've captured bad photos, a lot of bad photos, and they're dark and they didn't turn out. But you know what? That person got a hole in one in that moment. So when I share that photograph with them, it might not be the best exposed thing, but there's a certain level that takes them back to that memory. And that's the important part. It's not always quality. It's embracing the memory.
It's about kind of finding a reason to love each thing.
Yeah. I mean,
and strictly from a disc golf perspective too, I hate to say this, Sean, because you own a disc golf shop, but 90% of the dudes that come in don't need a new disc. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's fun to have a new disc.
Oh, it's totally fun. But it's more about, fundamentals and learning the game. But like at some point, I'm going to go buy a new disc and try it out just because it's new. And it's not going to help my game. But for a moment, I'm thinking, maybe this will give me that 30 feet that I was looking for, that kind of thing. And so
sometimes it does happen.
No, law of averages says it will not happen. Maybe for a moment it does.
When I first threw a Shrike, I was like, this is cheating. I could throw this further than anything else I've ever thrown. Weirdly, you're right, because now when I throw the Shrike, same as every other long distance driver I have.
Yeah, law of averages. In those moments, yes, you capture a new disc or you get a new lens, and the first picture you take is going to be like out of this world, and it's exactly what you've been looking for. Yeah. But maybe that opens up to your eyes to new experiences and elevates your talent to the next level.
It's the journey, dog.
It's the journey. Yeah. I just think that, like, when people think about, oh, I need the next, or I can't do it without this, or it's never really any of those things to me.
And I think about like when I got my Canon EOS R, I got that a year ago, and it was pretty much when it came out, and it was so exciting. And I remember a month after getting it, and like I wrote a blog post about it just because I wanted that memory of how I felt within the first month of having it.
Chasing that feeling. And now that I have it, I'm like, I want something else. But and that's what it's always going to be like that, though.
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to chase it from time to time, just to be honest with yourself that you got to kind of love what you have.
It reignites the spark.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I buy a new disc, it does that for me too. Like, I don't even throw half the discs I get.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing. Every
Even
time I get a new
disc. Even though it's not
disc,
part of it, it's still part of it.
No, it's part of the whole experience. Yeah.
I think the experience with discs, it's best breaking them in, though. It's so exciting from that moment.
Yes.
And then it's in your bag for 10 years, and it's like, what?
I can't live without it.
It's a friend.
Yeah. We have stories together.
That was a really
object.
Cool way to put a cap on this. I love that. I just love that concept. I don't think a lot of people will be honest with themselves about it.
The reason I asked is because that first came to me when I was doing photography myself, when we were doing car photography in Seattle. And I bought, a DSLR, and I knew the fundamentals, but I just wasn't getting the photos that I wanted to. And through research, I realized that the depth of field that I wanted and all of these things, I couldn't do with the equipment that I had. And eventually I bought better lenses and all that stuff and started getting the photos I wanted. But it was, in retrospect, never really the lenses. It was learning how to use all of that and bring my experiences to the level that allowed me to do what I wanted. But would I have gotten there without buying those? I don't know. It's like, it's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, because you really do have to go through that whole learning process. And sometimes it does mean taking risks and finding out.
Buying
how
that
much
$900 lens to go to Worlds.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered more than we bargained for.
Yeah.
I think, and the crazy thing is, and I'm almost nervous to say it, but when we posted the mailbag, we got a we got more responses out of this mailbag post than we get from most episodes.
Yeah.
People want to know about you. And
Yeah. We're going to have to pare it down.
Jason, have you looked through these questions?
I did earlier, but I didn't screen cap them on my screen.
Okay. While you look, mail time. Take us into the mailbag, Mr. Callahan.
And for the record, as of this moment, there's 11 comments.
Get the heck out of here.
Stop.
I just want to point
Stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Of course.
Grace Brazali Elliott.
I know her.
Yeah.
Best Facebook posts in my feed.
Oh, hands down.
down.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wants to know what's your favorite tournament to shoot?
Incarcerated.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
And all of them.
Cheater. That's not a real answer.
Doc has a question. He wants to know what's your favorite disc golf photo that you have ever taken?
Oh, you can't.
Okay,
do that.
so
right?
obviously it's like a whole career. I have tons of historical moments, but I did want to share one moment. It was Paul Macbeth's 2012 World Championships win. I showed up at Worlds because I wanted to photograph it for myself. The PDGA got wind that I was there, and all of a sudden I was a hired employee. But there was another person that showed up there too, and it was Jonathan Gomez. And he filmed the very first video, disc golf round coverage, was the MPO final round at Worlds. So
No big deal.
no big deal. I have a photograph with Paul Macbeth and his caddy standing behind one of the tees. And in the background of that, just passing through, is none other than Jonathan Gomez.
Dude.
It's
A nobody, Jonathan Gomez.
Right. Well,
Like,
nobody.
Yeah.
Skinnier than he is today, Jonathan
Just-
Gomez.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, so
Just
Paul
there and
wasn't
so-
quite Paul, and Jomez wasn't quite Jomez. Like,
Yeah.
historic. Awesome.
It's crazy.
Moments.
We're going to need that photo as well for the album.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
And when they stood right next to each other in the picture, their bodies made an 11.
Stop it. Jay, stop.
They did make
Stop
it
it.
11.
Stop.
Ryan Stilson wanted you to bring up your Paul Macbeth shoebox story, which you did. But he also wants to know, what's your favorite place to go hiking? I think that's a great question for all of us. We can all talk about hiking.
The local corner park, of course. I like Bullfrog Lake. I don't know why that's not a disc golf course right now. I always like Starved Rock, but Starved Rock has too many people. So I kind of tend to go like on a weekday, early in the morning, before anybody else shows up.
That was mine. I was going to say Star Rock. I went there a bunch as a kid. I haven't been in years, but
Do you want me to weigh in on this?
yeah.
I have never been like, oh, I'm going hiking now. I like camping, and I guess occasionally there's some hiking involved.
Like nature walks where you just
I need
get
to
I mean,
out.
I like
I need a
walking
purpose.
through nature,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Really?
I've never intentionally just been like, it's an activity I want to go do.
Yeah. I need a purpose.
Honestly,
I need a destination.
Playing a full round of 27 at Dellwood, and just like, there's only a few moments where you're really going uphill, but there's something I love about going up the hill on 6B.
That's a hike.
Yeah.
Every time I get to the top of it, I'm totally out of breath, but I'm really glad that I did it, and it's just
Right.
it's a nice feeling. So
Yeah.
I'll say Dellwood is my favorite place to hike.
Tim K has a question.
There we go.
He's gonna.
What's
he's
his
gonna-
last name? Tim what?
Jeltsin.
Okay.
Je-
Sure.
Jeltsin.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take that.
What's your dream camera? He wants to know. Ideally, what's your dream camera?
I mean, I like my current setup a lot, but I would like to try out medium format to see what that would look like in a digital sense. But those cameras are insane.
yeah.
But there was one more question on there too that I wanted to answer. Somebody asked how many Vibram discs I have in my bag.
Oh,
That
yes.
was
Who was it that said that?
Steve Ratchet.
Ratchet.
Steve Ratchin.
Rashawn.
I'm sorry.
Rashawn.
Steve
Rakin.
I have 2 Vibram Ridge putters, and I can't find another putter on earth that I like more than those. And they're not like the recycled rubber kind. They're not like the later, they're the early blends. And they're extinct, and they're my number 1 putters.
I want to try one.
I wonder if
Those are good.
our listeners will search their attics and their garages and their disc bins and see if we can get Lauren some more ridges.
In my experience, yeah, because since I talked about the Chief,
Yeah.
Everyone that I know sends me a message.
Yep.
Hey, I got a Chief if you want it.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I just paid Ryan Aquino for 2 of them, I think.
Well, if anybody has some ridges, some old Vibram ridges.
Hook your girl up.
Ridge.
Let's go.
I'll take it.
Yep. Cool.
That'll do it.
That's a wrap on the mailbag?
That's a wrap on the mailbag.
That's a wrap on the mailbag. That takes us to the trivia portion of the night.
Yes, it does. But we are going to mix things up a little bit. Since nobody got...
If nobody sings trivia portion of the night, my head's going to explode.
No, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce instead
the Tuesday Tunes portion of the night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday Tunes portion of the night.
So rather than doing trivia this week, we're going to talk about something that we decided to start up. And I think we're going to do it in pituitary. What is that word?
perpetuity.
That's
Perpetuity.
Perpetually.
Perpetually. So we are going to accompany our thread of episodes that people can listen to with a thread of tunes that they can listen to while we're out throwing. Every Tuesday, we are going to add 4 songs to it as each of us decide what we're going to add to the playlist.
Yeah.
And you can follow it, like it, all that good stuff that you do with Spotify. And it's pretty exciting stuff. There's some really weird shit I'm going to throw in there that I'm really hoping that people get into and want to message me and talk to me about whether they loved or hated the song that I decided to add. So
I'll tell you what
I'm
I've
big time looking forward
enjoyed about this so far already. I did the very first day we set it up. I was driving and I was like, oh, why not listen to that playlist? And it felt like I was hanging out with you guys. While I listened to it, when your song came on, I was like, it was like Jason was in the car with me.
Yeah.
And when your song came on, I was like, oh shit, it feels like Sean in here right now.
Yeah.
It was a cool feeling.
Nice.
What was your song? Oh, Incubus.
Yeah.
I got the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope other people feel this way when they listen to this playlist because it worked for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I've got some wacky stuff too. And now that you're saying like, hey, listen to it while you're playing disc golf. Okay, I need to rethink that
Yeah.
because some of the things I was going to add, you probably don't want to play disc golf too.
Yeah.
So
I already know my song next week is going to be Wham Bam Shang-a-Lang by Silver. And I mean, that's a freaking tune, but I wouldn't disc golf.
From
to it.
the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack?
I've been
right?
listening to that soundtrack
Nice.
on repeat
Nice.
for about 2 weeks.
There's going to be
Wow.
very different eclectic.
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's
That's
going to
be all
weird.
over the place.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the best
Tunes.
part.
And
Yeah.
the very first one we did was one song from our favorite bands.
Yeah, I figured why not start
Yeah,
with
yeah.
something
Start
we've already
there.
talked
Right,
about,
right,
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
What is going to happen from this point on is you're not going to necessarily hear from my favorite
Oh, it's
bands.
going off the
Right.
guardrails.
It's just going to be like, that's a tune. I'm throwing
Yeah.
that on there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, thanks Perfect Putt 360 for the Tuesday Tunes portion.
Tuesday Tunes portion of the night.
So we are opting out of trivia for this week, but we're going to come back horde on the next episode. Just wait till you see what we got cooked up.
Yep.
Okay, so the last thing we do before we get out of here, as is tradition at the Royal Canadian Wedding, brought to you by discgolfpins.com. It's the pinned it moment of the episode.
Come on, Nina.
There were some moments on tonight's episode.
Many moments.
Which moment pinned it the most?
I've chimed in too many times on this. I'm going to let you guys take the lead.
Sheila, what moment pinned it?
Sheila's
She was asleep at the table.
Sheila's checked out.
To have the 11 sort of the 11 mystery explained. That's Sheila's pinned it moment of the episode.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
That's
that.
good. Yeah.
I think there could be multiple pinned it because it's an opinion thing.
Sure.
For me, the pinned it moment was the first moment where you got very emotional talking about the love and like why you do what you do. That's and I'm going to carry that with me
Yeah.
for a while.
That's what Lauren does.
Pinned it.
I think the pinned it moment for me was when I remembered to shout out to your dad's nuts again. keep that going. No, I'm going to cut that out.
You know, it's fun. No, keep it in. It's fine. I actually sent the first time that happened, I sent the clip to my dad like, hey, your nuts made it on the episode. And he just sent me a thumbs up reaction. And then I sent it to my mom just to see like, hey, your husband's nuts made it on the episode. I want to see what my mom said. And she just ignored it completely. So
It's a very mom thing to do.
Yeah.
Best reaction.
yeah. So
Ignore.
thank you, discgolfpins.com. By the way, Sheila just told us earlier that there are only 2 pins left, 2 unstable discourse pins left at the shop.
Oh, no way, really?
They'll probably be gone by the time this episode airs.
No doubt.
But, hey, go check it out. There might be 1 or 2 left for you.
Yep.
Jason has some ideas on what to do with more pins moving forward, so we'll see if that comes to fruition. But
Fruitation.
Thanks again to Disc Golf Pins for hooking us up with those, and thank you to all you guys for buying them and supporting the show.
Yeah.
We now have a couple dollars to do something cool with, and we're still figuring out what that's going to be, but there's...
As long as it's not more vodka,
Michael?
Well, sure. I wouldn't hate that. I really love that episode.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I thought it was a good time, but
that's a good moment to wrap this up. We gotta say thank you to Lauren, the disc golf photographer, for joining us and highlighting things that nobody else could have possibly highlighted.
Absolutely.
Thank you for bringing us into your world and sharing your story with everybody. This was awesome. This is not the last time that we have you involved in the show. I hope you don't mind.
No.
There will be future moments. And thank you guys for listening. That is a wrap on episode 5, season 2, Unstable Discourse. Until next time, you guys keep it tight. See ya.
Thank you. Adios.
the word photographs has 11 letters in it.
Are you joking?
Wait.
No, it totally does.
Look at this photograph.
Every time I take a leg. Listen to Unstable Discourse on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or right from Buzzsprout.com. And if you have the time, leave us a rating and review. It helps the podcast get to more listeners.
Unstable Discourse is a top secret studios production.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.